see, I do need to put that link up there. I think are we live? I don't even know if we're live yet.
I could probably see.
All right. Yep, we're live. What's up, heathens? How y'all doing? I'm the Godless Engineer. This is Volcy. I do have Volcy linked down in the description if y'all want to go and follow Volcy Thoughts over there on his channel. We've had Volcy on before for an interview and everything. Volcy, do you want to let people know like who you are, what you do, and everything like that while I get other stuff sort of situated?
Oh yeah, definitely. How's it going, guys? My name is Volcy Thoughts. You can follow me on my channel. What I do over there is I do these type of discussions, religious, faith-based discussions. I also do politics if you're into that. I am a left-winger, so if you don't like us pinko godless communists, then my channel probably won't be for you. But if you are, go ahead and come on through. What I like to do is I like to have these type of talks. I do commentary sometimes and reactions, especially when it's necessary. I have a reaction video coming out pretty soon because of a Christian woman who said that she gave up her therapist and social worker license because the mental health industry is demonic. So I really need to talk about that. Really talk about like religious psychosis and things like that. So definitely, if you're up for that, then definitely come through in my channel. And shout out to Godless Engineer for having me on here and inviting me to the was that in October, the Reason rally, right?
Yeah, Rocket City Reason.
Yeah, Rocket City Reason. Yeah, that's coming up in October, so definitely get y'all tickets. And like I said, I appreciate y'all for appreciate y'all for having me here.
No, yeah, I really appreciate you coming by and everything, and doing this with me. Okay, let's see. Trying to get the TikTok set up.
Yeah, once it's set up, I'll go ahead and share it as well.
Okay, yep. We are live over there on the Tickety Tockety. Let me get Let me get all of my comment stuff set up over here. This is a totally professional stream, everybody, just so that you're aware. That's how we do things here. Also, same issues as last night that I had with the audio. Let's see, Godless Engineer. Okay. Yeah. Right, I got you. Hold on. Again, totally professional. There we go. Okay. All right. So let me get the link pinned up in the chat there. Copy link. That. Let me get this pinned here. All right, put that in the chat. I should have done that earlier, but I didn't. Okay.
Let me go ahead and jump up on this. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, let's see, we got it in horizontal. Huh?
I can hear you both on both.
Oh, you can?
Yeah, on YouTube and TikTok, I can hear you both on both.
Okay, awesome.
Awesome, great. All right, yes, that worked exactly how I hoped it would work right there. With the stream. Now we're like all full screened and everything like that. I meant to do this yesterday for Carrier, but it ended up not working out because I forgot to hit something to go live with it horizontal. Okay, all right. So we got that. Hold on, let me get my guest queue up. We got Volcy up here. Again, Volcy, thank you so much for, coming on and doing a dual stream with me. I'm trying to get something going on my own personal channel here, so that I can have, more creators in the space up for, like to get used to like the whole call-in setup and everything. And I'm really hoping to provide that kind of experience for people, because I know that there's a lot of people out there that like, they want to get on, some of the bigger shows and everything like that. And they really just need a space to grow and to really learn. Not that you need to learn or anything. I'm not trying to talk about you. I'm just trying to talk about the show that I'm trying to create in general.
Oh yeah, sure. I mean, because like that's what I've been aiming for as well. I want to do more of these call-ins. I want to do panels, have a whole bunch of discussions. It'd be great. Yeah, I mean, because I really do think, especially for in my community, that we spoke about this the last time we interviewed, and in my community, there's not a lot of us. You know, what I mean, our faces like ours are pretty rare. Yeah, I mean, so I'm also doing something tomorrow with the Roots Collective, and I'll be on in the cut with Mandisa Thomas later on this month as well. So
Cool.
we were finally able to set that up. I've been wanting to get on that for a while. I actually missed the email she sent me. Yeah, I mean, she sent it months back. I missed that email, and then who told me to check my email? Jovan Bradley. He said, "Hey, bro, check your email. I think Mandisa emailed you months ago, but she wanted you on in the cut." And then I checked. I was like, "Oh crap, she emailed me months ago." So I finally was able to answer her back and let her know that I want to get on that. So definitely doing things like these are, is my passion, my drive. I definitely want this to be, something I can do possibly full time one day. And if that does happen, that would be amazing,
Oh yeah, no, I totally agree about that. I'm 20 years into my career, so I've got to wait until I can retire, but hopefully I can get to the point where one day, like, I'm doing a lot more activism kind of stuff full time, but that's a ways off for me. So I'm kind of stuck just doing it on the side here. I do want to say big thank you to Colin for doing the goats and the heart me, KC for doing the populars. Thank you, honey. I know that those help. I've also added, let's see, I need to refresh my couple of my overlays here, because I've added a few things that will react. Let's see, refresh those. Okay, there we go. Okay, we do actually have somebody requesting up on TikTok, which is great because we need to test to make sure that they can hear Volcy. I know that KC can hear Volcy, but I'm wondering if the guests can hear Volcy. Hi there,
hello.
Truth GPT. Well, 1 second though. Can you hear Volcy? Volcy, can you talk real quick?
Yeah, my check 1 2 1 2 GPT.
No, I
you hear
cannot
me?
hear him.
You can't hear him?
You can't hear me.
Yeah, okay, so that's what I was afraid of. Thank you so much there, Truth, for coming up here to help us sort of troubleshoot this particular situation that we find ourselves in. Let's see. Okay, that's set to that. Maybe I wonder if we set it to default, what'll happen to that? What is the default set at? We'll get this situated real quick. Voice meter input. Sure. Okay. Hold on. Maybe Volcy talk again.
Yeah, my check 1 2 1 2.
Okay. Yeah, he can't hear that.
Can't hear that.
No. Let's see. Okay, maybe talk again. Nope, he's not going to be able to hear that either. Okay, so yeah, I know. This guy needs to be voice meter input. That's what worked last time. Let's see. Speak one more time there, Volcy.
Let me see if I do this. Hey, can you hear this, Truth?
Yeah, I can hear that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's because I muted myself. I hope it comes through. I hope it doesn't sound like, or am I sounding fine?
Well, yeah, it definitely sounds like you're in a big room, but I mean, I think that'll work for now until I can figure something out.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. That's fine. As long as we can go ahead and discuss and the people can hear me, then we'll be good.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Let me work on that while we discuss. What Truth has for us. Hey, Truth GPT, are you over 18?
Yeah, I'm 20.
Okay. And what are your pronouns?
He, him.
Can you speak up there, Truth? Because I can barely hear you too.
He, him.
Okay. Well, I'll see what I can do on my end for that. Okay, so Truth, what do you want to talk about tonight?
I was gonna address like the earlier prompt about God is a moral monster. I was gonna ask like, do you believe in like moral realism, or like you're a moral anti-realist, or like what are you?
I'm not even sure what moral realism is.
Yeah, moral realism just like says that moral facts are going to be objectively true. This would typically be grounded in like some type of God. Moral anti-realism denies that moral truths are going to be objective; they're going to be subjective.
I think consequences are objective. What morals are is basically uh, like a system of how we interact with each other, essentially, like how we interact with each other, and the consequences to that are objective. But whether a moral thing, a moral ought or is objectively true, no, I don't think we can, and anybody can even say that. So, but what would this have to do with God's morals then?
Yeah, sure. I can just give in to like some type of like modus ponens argument. Yeah, P1, if anti-realism is true, then moral statements only express subjective attitudes or preferences. P2, saying God is a moral monster is a moral statement. Conclusion one, well, we could just say it's going to be premise 3 too, I guess. Therefore, under moral anti-realism, the statement only expresses a personal dislike, not an objective fact. And then we could say conclusion, like it's just going to be, therefore the claim function as a that it cannot functionally like be like a rational statement that God is a moral monster, or it's going to be like some type of objection to his character or like his existence.
Okay, I don't really typically do the Phil Bro stuff. You want to go ahead and take this one, Godless?
Yeah, I'm so sorry there, Truth. Maybe could you go like point by point on this for me? If you, I don't mind interacting on a Philbro kind of level, but you're gonna need to go slow for me. Okay, so let's start with point one. Can you repeat that back?
Yeah, premise one is going to be, if moral anti-realism is true, then moral statements only express subjective attitudes or preferences. Do you have that one?
Yeah, I think so, but I think that your position would also suffer from that. Like you also have a stance dependent position. We both
no,
are
I
working
don't-
from a stance dependent position.
Yeah, my stance comes from moral realism, which says that objective moral truths do exist, and those are going to come from God. So it doesn't like
Right.
necessarily-
Is God a
Let's put
being?
Okay,
so
okay,
Truth,
so wait,
this
let
kind
me
of
explain it
put.
like this. So when we say moral objective, moral realism, right, or moral objective facts are going to exist, or moral truths are going to exist, right? We're going to be saying, and we say, oh, God's going to be this arbiter. Well, not arbiter, but he's going to be this objective standard. We are saying, typically under classical theism views, we believe that God's commands come from his nature, right? And his commands are going to flow from his nature or come from his nature, right? His nature under classical theism is going to be all good. So if his nature is going to be all good, then his commands have to be all good. So it's going to still be it's going to be a more
Oh wait, Volcy,
we're
you're
going to have
muted.
moral objective truth.
Sorry about that. All right. So God's command are supposed to be all good, right? So if all of God's command are good, that means it was good for him to order the slaughter of babies in the Old Testament.
Yeah, so when we say God is going to be all good, we also believe God is all just. So therefore, there's going to be some type of divine justification for the reason he gave these commands, whether we know it or not. So to say, oh, God did it, and it's this, that, and the third, you're going to have to give some like type of like objection to classical theism, like a classical theist belief. Otherwise, it's just going to be like some appeal to emotion, because we could say,
Yeah, Truth.
oh,
This doesn't really answer my question. You just went on. You just went on to hold on, Truth. Hold on, Truth. You just kind of just went on to word salad. You didn't really answer my question.
I
Is
did.
God commanding slaughtering babies a good thing?
Yeah, I said he's going to be all under classical theism. He's going to have all great making properties. Great making property.
All right. So Truth. I'm gonna interrupt you again. I'm sorry. I just need a yes or no, bro.
It's not a black and white answer, so I can't just give a yes or no. You have to understand.
Okay, so if it's not a black and white answer, then you cannot make a black and white answer to God being the arbiter of all morals then. Because
Wait,
if you're going to say, hold on. If you're going to say that God is the arbiter of all morals, everything that sorry, y'all, that's my air fryer I'm cooking. If you're going to say that God is the arbiter of all morals or all truths or all moral truths, etc., and then when I ask you, okay, so when he commanded this, was that a good thing to command? And you can't answer yes or no, then that means that your first premise is also flawed.
Wait,
You can't start off on the premise that he's all good and everything he commands is good, and then when I ask you about one of his commands, is that one good? You said that I can't say if that one's good or not.
Yes, because the
Like,
because the claim you're making, right, is coming from some type of emotional viewpoint, not specifically thinking about the position a classical theist would hold. Classical theist would be me in this case, right? So I'm telling you.
So I don't really care. Okay, so you hold a position that God is all good. You will need to actually show that God exists first.
Wait, so he interrupts me, but I can't interrupt. I guess. But if
truth. First of all, we're running the show here, right? So I mean, you're coming up here, you're coming into our space, right? So if we need to interrupt you to like clarify something or talk about something, then we can, right? So that's just how these things operate. Okay, we can drop the meta now.
That I should also be allowed to do the same, because if he's like purposely strawmanning my claim, I need to correct him on that strawman that he's like making.
Well, hold on.
Right?
So Truth, are you here to actually have a conversation? Truth, are you here to actually have a conversation, or are you here to get a notch on your belt?
I'm here to have a good faith discussion, but like if you're just applying one way versus another way, right? And I can't do the same that you're applying to.
Okay,
right?
well, see, you can't actually come to any kind of moral conclusions about your particular classical theist of a God unless you have some kind of concrete definition. Otherwise, it's just arbitrary claims that your God is all good and everything that he commands is good. And arbitrary claims of him, arbitrary claims of him being good doesn't really provide us with any kind of scaffolding or any kind of way for us to actually investigate whether or not this God is actually all good. It just boils down to you making ad hoc claims that he is all good, and you're just in this exact same spot that you were before. So
wait, I think you misunderstand, right? It's not some yeah. So when the classical theist view of God, right, or definition of God is going to be a maximally great being, right? So it's not necessarily like some ad hoc or like some like, oh, there's no concrete definition, or I'm just saying, oh, he's all good, he's all just, and I'm adding these things, right? These are things that all classical theists are going to hold to of a maximally great God, right? So if a maximally great being, impersonal, personal being, not impersonal, right? So you just like don't understand the classical theist view.
So truth.
Wait, can I finish? Truth,
hold on. Truth, chill. Truth, I got you. Chill. Truth, hold on. Chill, bro. Listen. We understand all this, right? You understand that I was a Christian for like almost 30 years. I understand all these definitions. I understand the position of a classical theist. I understand all of that. But you still have two issues though. The first issue is that you're simply putting the cart before the horse.
Hold on, sorry, Volcy, can you mute up on your phone, because I actually fixed the problem, and so you're coming through fine on your good mic.
But first, but first I need to address something, right? Not all Christians. Wait. I need to address something first. Not all Christians hold to a classical theist view, right? So to say, oh, you're a Christian, and you know.
To show that God exists first. All right, just because I can make up a definition of Flurbergerble, who's a pink unicorn that exists outside of space and time and actually created Yahweh. That's my definition of Flurbergerble. Does that mean that Flurbergerble actually exists?
I mean,
it doesn't.
Right?
So hold on, let me just finish this. You cannot simply define a God into existence. You need to show one exists first. Okay, that's number one. But the second problem that we're having is that you're still having the issue of the premise that you're saying that all moral truths and moral goodness comes from God. And I say, okay, was this action that he commanded, was that a good action? If you cannot say yes or no to that, then there's an issue with your first problem, with your first premise. So you need to solve these two things first. How do we actually show that a God stop saying bro, and let me finish my statement. How do you actually show that a God exists first? Then we can get to the whole moral thing. or unless you just want me to take it for do you just want me to grant you that God exists? You don't want me to just grant you that? Got that assumption?
I mean, you don't have to, but the second part doesn't. There's no problem with the premise because that wasn't a part of the premise to begin with. The premise was about if moral anti-realism is true, not if moral realism is true.
Hold on.
True.
Sorry, I just need a clarification. Can you define what anti-realism is?
Yeah, it's just gonna be that moral. When we say moral anti-realism, I'm in reference to moral truths not existing, and it's just gonna be based on subjective attitudes or preferences.
Oh, okay. So if you're basing your moral foundation in God, then that's still going to be a subjective thing. So we're both working off of anti-realism in your definition.
Yeah, I was going to say that. That's the third problem, because even if your God exists, if we just grant you that your God exists.
I can't address both of your points at the same time, right? So Godless, I'll address your first point, and then like Volcy, I don't know your name. I think it's Volcy, right?
Yes, it's Volcy. I was just going to reiterate and clarify.
Okay, then you can just like give the argument afterwards. But Godless, right? It's not going to be based in my morality isn't going to be based in my subjective preferences or attitude. It's going to be based within what God commands, right? Of God, once again, his nature is going to be maximally great, right? And it's going to possess all great-making properties.
Right.
This just entails he's going to have to be all good. If
right. So truth. Hold on. Truth. Give us a second. The reason why I'm interrupting is because we've heard this before, bro. That's the only reason why I'm interrupting. We've heard this before.
You've heard it before. You shouldn't be strawmanning then.
Truth. Chill. Listen, we've heard this before. That's that. Like I know you keep getting frustrated. You want to get it out, but we've heard all this before. That's number one. Okay, but the second thing that I was gonna say, hold on. Listen, because making me lose my spot. The second thing that I was gonna say is that you said that you're not working off of your own subjective preferences. But the thing is, though, you are working off of subjective preference, which is the God that you're worshiping, that you claim exists. You're working off of his or its or she's or whatever it is. You're working off of that subjective preference. So we're both working off of subjective preference.
Oh my. Okay, so I'm going to explain this one more time, and I'm going to ask that you please don't interrupt because you've made the same mistake 3 times at this point. Okay, so when we say subjective preferences or attitudes, this is in reference to our current situation, right? Or our belief system, right? Not belief system, but our worldview and what we think should happen, right? If it is coming from God, right? If we were saying God, we can say we presuppose God to exist, or we can like just give like a formal syllogism on why God's going to exist, right? Then God is going to still be this objective claim. So it's not going to be based in my interpretation. It's not going to be mind dependent from me, but it's going to be mind independent. Do you understand the difference between mind dependency and mind independency?
No.
I understand the difference between. I'm sorry, guys. Go ahead.
Sorry. No. I'm sorry. I just wanted to point out that, like, you're. I'm just wondering, Truth. Can you identify that it being independent of your mind doesn't mean that it's independent of any mind? Because if God is a mind, is a being, then you're just shifting the stance to God's stance. That's all you're doing.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like, I understand that it's independent of your mind, but it's still dependent on a mind, which is God, which makes it subjective.
Oh my God!
You're just following different people.
Once again, it comes from his nature. Nature are not mind dependent, right?
Yeah,
so
they are.
if you're saying, wait, so you think your capabilities are dependent? Wait, so you think your nature and what? Do you know what a nature is?
Yes, your nature is your entire being, and we haven't even solved that. You're going into ontology now.
That's ontology, right? Nature can be separated from like the definition of ontology, right? When we're in reference to nature, we can refer to this as like sets or like the capabilities, right? So do you think the capability of you running, the capability of like what you have as a human, right? Do you think that's mind dependent? I'm so confused on like what you think.
What do you mean the capability of what I have as human? What does that mean?
Yeah, so like the ability to like, let's say, rationalize thing or have some type of like a rational soul.
Yes.
Even if you don't agree to. So you
that 100% depends on your mind. Oh, so hold on, wait, hold on.
Okay,
truth.
can you tell me how?
Truth. Just for that one example you gave. Truth. Let me hold on, bro. Hold on. Chill out.
You need
Relax.
to give an explanation for your claim.
Truth. Relax. This is why I'm not talking to Phil bros. Y'all just reactionaries. Y'all took philosophy 101 and 102 in college, and now I just react to everything. Chill out. Let's have a conversation. All right, listen. That example that you just gave, the ability to rationalize and things like that, just that one example, that 100% depends on your mind. 100%. Because guess what? If I get into an accident and my prefrontal cortex is hit, then that means I can come out that with a completely different attitude, can I? And we have real life examples of that. When your brain is damaged, personality changes a lot. It happens a lot of times. So it depends on your mind.
Didn't understand what I was saying, so I'm just gonna like correct you on that, right? That's still going to be causal, right? You're still going to have the ability, right? But the property itself of like we could say what's it called? Accidental property. Yeah, the accidental property is no longer there, right? But the nature itself would still be there. So unless you think like causal things are mind dependent, then you're just gonna have to. All right, so when we say something's causal, we're referring a causal property or like a causal thing. We're gonna say like what's it called? Like fire burning. Do you think that's dependent of the mind? Do you think fire burning is dependent of the mind?
No, fire is an emergent property, just like our consciousness.
Okay, so that's a causal thing, right? If it's causal, then the ability for humans to rationalize, which is a part of the human nature, right, is also going to be causal.
So truth, guess what? Guess what? Truth.
Wait, I'm not done. You got to finish.
Truth, guess what? Truth, guess what? Truth, guess what? Guess what? Truth. Truth, guess what? Hey, truth, guess what? Hey, truth, guess what? Hey, truth, guess what? Hey, truth. Hey, truth. Hey, truth, guess what? Guess what? Truth. Truth, guess what? Guess what? Guess what? Our consciousness is also causal. Our mind is also causal. Our mind doesn't exist without neurons firing.
What's going to be the argument for that?
Once we go, the argument for that is all of neuroscience. We've never been able to detect consciousness. You need to be quiet for a second. You've never been able to detect consciousness without neurons firing. We've never been able to do that.
Yeah.
So that means our consciousness, which is our mind, is also dependent.
Wait. So that's just like a physical, that's just like a physical experience, right? But if I was to say,
have we ever detected?
Let me finish.
Truth.
Chill.
I just gotta ask you a question. I just gotta ask you a question. You need to relax. Relax.
Oh my God.
My guy, relax. Take a chill pill. Woosah. Take a shot of Hennessy real quick. Woosah.
This is sad.
My guy, woosah. Listen. Have we ever been able to detect? I'm sorry, guys. Go ahead.
Truth. No, you're fine. Truth. If you can't just allow us to guide the conversation, if you can't allow us to actually have the conversation with you, and instead go a mile a minute whenever you're talking and throw so much shit at us to where we can't actually respond to anything in particular, then I'm just going to drop you because that's not a good conversation. You're not here in good faith.
You're not here in good faith because I asked him to give the argument.
No, we are here in good faith. Truth. No. Truth. We are here in good faith. We're trying to have a conversation. You're not wanting to respect the general back and forth that these kinds of lives, these kinds of debates are known for. This is what they are known for. If you don't get that social contract, fine. You can drop and go and Phil Bro somewhere else. I'm sure Monkey Boy will be live sometime soon. What?
Hey, but truth. Here's the thing. Here's the thing.
Wait. You just went back and forth, but I can't.
Truth. Relax, bro. Relax for me real quick. Truth. Relax for me. Listen to me real quick, bro. Truth.
Wait.
Relax for me real quick. Truth. Relax me real quick. Truth. Relax me real quick. Relax.
Truth. Just listen to Volcy.
Jesus Christ.
I was already speaking. Why would I? He started over.
No. Truth.
That's bad faith.
Okay. I'm so sorry,
dude.
I'm so sorry.
Jesus
I'm so sorry,
Christ.
Volcy. It was impossible to have that conversation.
I was just telling him to chill out for a second.
Yeah, I know. I mean, he can't go a mile a minute and then expect us to allow him to just continue to go a mile a minute without actually interjecting to handle the conversation. It's totally ridiculous. So we do have. Yeah, I know. I'm so sorry we couldn't finish that one. We do have Devil's Advocate up. Devil's Advocate, are you there?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yep, I got you. Are you over 18 and what are your pronouns?
Yes. He.
Okay. All right. So, Devil's Advocate, did you have an issue with tonight's topic? Specifically, God being a moral monster?
Well, let me see. What is your premise? That God is immoral?
Well, specifically, we're talking about the Abrahamic God. So, yes, that specific God would be immoral.
Immoral according to your own definition of immorality.
Correct.
Okay. Well, I would guess that you're right. I mean, if we are understanding through our human concept what God is, we're going to ascribe to him all sorts of words: benevolent, sadist, vengeful, compassionate. But you cannot expect having an understanding beyond that to know the true nature of God for you to make a valid point. I don't know if I'm making any sense.
Well, so Devil's Advocate, Devil's Advocate, are you a Christian?
I believe in a God of necessity. What
I'm
happens
sorry.
is through humanities.
What definition of God are you working with? Is it the Abrahamic God?
There are so many gods. I believe that humanity just pointing out to a single thing that gives explanation to the world.
Okay.
Like focusing on a specific flavor, I don't know. For me, it just makes no sense. When the same property of a God is the same, like the Almighty. Does that make sense?
No, you're not.
I have
No,
clue
you're not
what
making
what
sense.
talking about.
So Devil's Advocate. Now, I'm just kind of curious. Do you think that God is all powerful?
I think God is a necessary being to explain our self-awareness.
Okay, where is the magical part of our brains that factors in to that? Like, what makes
Because
God necessary in our brains?
Okay, because you cannot explain what consciousness is without using the term itself, which is a circularity.
What?
What do you mean?
You cannot explain what self-awareness is without assuming that you are self-aware. So you are utilizing the term in the definition of the term, which is a paradox. It's like saying,
What?
well, what's blue is something bluish.
That's not how we would define blue, but that's also not how we're defining consciousness. So consciousness would be an emergent property of a complex central nervous system, and so that it emerges out of complex interaction between brain structure as well as chemical, the chemical processes in your brains, the neurons that are firing. All of those complex interactions ends up producing a consciousness. That's why we see consciousness arise in other beings out there, other animal species.
I can challenge that. Can I challenge that?
Sure.
Sure.
Okay, emergence doesn't exist. If emergence exists, then everything is emergent. Take, for example, a fan.
Correct.
Take, for example, a fan. You put certain parts together, and those parts interact, and then you feel the breeze of the working fan. So can I say that the fan is an emergent property?
No.
Of all the components
that wouldn't
interacting? Yes.
No. So here, an emergent, So like an example of an emergent property would be physical things that are interacting, and then that, somehow produces some kind of effect. So like
the components of the fan are interacting with each other.
All right. So advocate, hold on. I don't think you're really understanding what emergence really is, right? So, hold on. Your example of the fan, you had to get like pieces of plastic and pieces of metal and pieces of electricity and put them together to make the fan, correct?
Correct.
Right. So when it comes to an emergent property, when you say that everything is emergent, you can technically say that because you had to put pieces that are unlike into together to make something new.
Exactly. You don't have an argument to say that.
But you can't say. Hold on. You can't say that emergence doesn't exist just because many things that we have in this universe are emergent.
It just dilutes your argument because we are trying to explain something that right now there is an illusion that we don't have the grasp on. Okay, so if everything is emergent, then your whole argument gets diluted because there's no explanation. Everything is emergent. So then what? The universe is consciousness then, because a star emerges from the fusion reactions of the atoms.
Not really. Just because something is emergent doesn't mean it's deliberate.
Yes. I'm not saying about deliberate. Okay.
Just because something is emergent
consciousness is not deliberate either.
Deliberate.
Consciousness is not deliberate either. Because remember, consciousness and deliberate is almost the same. You're using it interchangeably. So you cannot say
no. We're not equivocating. We're not doing the equivocating here.
Yeah, you are.
Okay, so what I'm saying is that
I'm sorry. Hold on, advocate. Hold on. Listen, I'm very lost on what you're trying to get at here. What are we saying? What are we getting at?
What I'm getting is that there is no explanation of consciousness that doesn't get you into a circularity.
So?
Okay. Because you can ask, are you
hold on, can you walk that out for me? Like, can you walk the circle for me? So like, what's the first point? The first point is that we call it consciousness. What's the second point?
Okay, let's examine your statement. You say we call it consciousness. Who's we? We have already implied that
humanity.
We
human beings
as conscious beings. Okay, you see what I'm saying? You cannot define consciousness using any word related to an awareness of an individual, because you're using
your position, your position suffers from the same circularity, if you want to call it that, because then we wouldn't be able to describe God whatsoever. So this ends up being a pointless conversation.
Well, not really, because I don't need to describe God.
Yes, really, because humans who came up with the concept of God?
I don't know.
Christ almighty.
Do I have to know? I don't know. I'm just pointing the flaw on your arguments. The paradox, to explain the paradox, the only thing that right now comes to mind is God as a necessary being. Because the fact that we are aware is a paradox. Think about it this way.
Hold on, advocate. Listen, advocate. The fact that we are self-aware is not a paradox. It's a mystery.
It is, because you cannot explain
advocate, let me finish real quick. Advocate, hold on. The fact that we are self-aware is a mystery because we can't 100% explain what consciousness is. We're just pretty sure that it's an emergent property of chemicals and neurons in our brain. That's what we're pretty sure of.
There you go again.
So now, hold on. Let me just finish, bro.
Everything is emergent.
Let me just finish. Advocate, you got to chill out, bro. Yeah, we understand. We get it, right? That it's an emergent property and it's a big mystery. But just because it's a big mystery doesn't mean that we don't understand we don't completely understand what consciousness is or how it came to be. Therefore, God. You can't make that leap.
No, I'm not. I'm not making that leap. I'm not making an argument from ignorance.
So what are you trying to say? Because you're simply saying that.
I'm explaining to you that.
Hold on. Because the last thing that you said was that consciousness is a paradox and therefore God is a necessary being. That sounds ridiculous.
Okay, you know what is a paradox? A paradox is not something that we don't know. Okay,
I understand what a paradox is. But what I'm saying is that our self-awareness, our consciousness is not a paradox. It's simply a mystery.
It is not a mystery because, okay, listen to me. You say that.
Okay, so what's the reason for consciousness? You saw something that neuroscience hasn't solved yet. Is what you're telling me?
I'm saying that there is no definition of consciousness without involving consciousness itself.
Who cares?
The moment you
that doesn't mean that a God exists.
Well, the moment you do that, that's what you are omitting. You are omitting the circularity of the statement.
Advocate, listen. Advocate, listen to me. We can all go to Agrippa's trilemma all we want, right? We can go through that all we want. No one can solve that. I understand that the definition of consciousness is not satisfying to you. That doesn't mean a God exists. Who cares that we can't really define consciousness? We're just going to give it to you. All right, we'll give it to you. Consciousness can't be defined without already using self-awareness. We get that. How does it make a God exist?
How? Because the fact that we are self-aware means that there is a necessary being making us aware of the paradox.
No,
No,
so,
it's
so
not.
I just want to point something out here. That's called ad hoc reasoning. Because you're just saying it. You're not actually justifying it with anything that makes sense, right?
Okay,
You're-
so how do you become aware of a paradox? Okay,
You need to
Think about
establish
it.
that it's a paradox. All you've done is claim that it's a paradox. You haven't actually established that it's a paradox.
I've already told you that it's a paradox. You cannot define
Yes,
consciousness.
yeah, exactly.
without
You've told me it's a
explaining
paradox. You
self-awareness.
have not established that it's a paradox.
Well, I already told you. Like, for example, if I tell you what is blue, and then you tell me blue is something that look bluish, by logic, that makes no sense. It's a circularity. You haven't told me
You're
nothing.
creating you're equivocating here. You're providing a false analogy because that's not how we would describe blue. We would say blue is a certain spectrum on the electromagnetic
But I'm just
wavelength.
fabricating an answer to
not-
to compare it to what consciousness.
Yeah, you're
and
fabricating
self-awareness
something that's a
is.
straw man argument. It's a false analogy. Do you know what a false analogy is? I've actually got a helpful tool
I do, but
that can
I
explain it to you.
can't come up with another. Right,
Right,
but you
because
understand what I'm
your
saying.
point is bullshit.
It is not, because okay, I'm asking you again. Define consciousness without implying self-awareness, which is consciousness itself. You can't.
Right. All right. So
You
advocate,
cannot.
we get advocate. We get that, right? In order for us to
I
define
get-
consciousness,
apparently
we
he
have
can-
to
he's not
advocate.
getting
You
it.
got to advocate. Be quiet for a second. We understand
Okay.
that in order for us to define consciousness, we actually have to be conscious to do it. But so what? This doesn't make a God exist,
Oh,
bro.
so you don't see the problem with that? You don't see the
No,
problem
I
with that?
don't.
Seriously.
We have to be.
Oh
hold
my
on. We have
goodness.
to be self-aware to define
I can't.
anything, don't we?
I can't. No.
I
That's
know
the
you
paradox.
can't because this is stupid.
And you don't see a paradox in that. You don't see a paradox in that.
No, I don't see a
You don't-
paradox
you-
in that. This is
you see
stupid, bro.
legal- Okay, listen,
Advocate,
listen.
advocate. This is
You
very,
see-
very dumb.
you see
Advocate.
completely
Chill
legal-
out. Hold on. Be quiet for a second. This is very, very stupid. All
I am
right.
quiet.
Yes, we understand that we have to be alive and self-aware and conscious in order for us to go out and define things. But this doesn't make me that a
No,
God
and
exists.
define self-awareness. No. Not define things. Define consciousness itself. You need to be self-aware. And you don't see
Of
the
course we do.
paradox in that.
We know that. That's not a paradox.
It is a paradox because you are using
How
the
is it a
term in
paradox
the definition of the term.
How is it a paradox to be alive in order to define things? Dead people don't define things, do they?
It's
This
not
is
just being
crazy.
alive.
This is dumb. Where are we going with this? You're saying that because like we're alive and it's a huge mystery that we exist and et cetera, therefore God. This is crazy.
No. I'm not talking about existence. I'm just talking about self-awareness and consciousness.
Which is existence.
You are failing
part
to
of it.
describe consciousness without self-awareness.
Who cares?
Okay.
Who cares? This doesn't make a God
I
exist.
do, because it's not logical. It is not
What do
logical.
you mean it's not
You are
logical? What do you mean it's
using-
not logical? What does that mean?
You are using the term in the definition of the term.
I didn't define
Okay.
anything.
If
I
I-
didn't define anything. Hold on, advocate. Slow down. You're not tracking. What I said was, yes, we have to be conscious in order to define what consciousness is. I didn't give you a definition of conscious.
And you don't see the problem
All I
with
said
that.
was,
I still
no,
can
I don't see the
believe-
Hold on, advocate. Relax for a second. I'm going to start over again. Yes, we have to be conscious in order for us to define consciousness. That's not an issue. That's simply the reality of the situation. We can't be dead in define
That is
things.
called a
simply-
circularity. That is called a
Advocate,
circularity.
relax, dude. Relax. We simply, it's simply what our situation is. There is no way to define things and not be aware of what they are. There's no way to do that. So simply being
That doesn't mean that your response
simply
is
being
valid.
self-aware doesn't mean that suddenly a God exists because we're self-aware.
No, because you're not seeing the circularity in the definition. If you don't see the circularity,
I didn't
hey,
define
That's
anything.
fine. That's fine.
Christ Almighty.
What? Yeah. Okay. So devil's advocate. What have we defined for one, and two? How have we defined it as like in a circular fashion? Maybe we can
First
get there.
of all, okay. So I ask you, and don't interrupt me, please. I ask you, what is consciousness? right? And then you said we have to be self-aware to be conscious, to explain consciousness. Self-awareness is consciousness. Okay? Just because they are different words doesn't mean that is the same concept. It is the same concept. So
All right,
you
so
are
advocate, this
using
shows me,
the
this
same-
shows me,
Here you
this
are-
shows me,
here you are
this
interrupting
shows me, this shows me that you were not tracking, because that's not what we define consciousness as. Godless already said that consciousness is typically an emergent property of the chemicals and the neurons in our brain. That's how he defined it. And you said something
And
else.
I can challenge that again.
That shows me that you're not
Well,
By
listening.
saying
hold on.
everything is
Right,
emergent.
right. So devil's advocate, so sorry for interrupting, but I do have to correct this. So the consciousness and self-awareness are not the exact same thing. They're not different words to the same
It
thing.
is.
They are, no, they're not. So consciousness is the what, self-awareness is the who, right? So they
It
are
involves the same
related, but they
being.
are distinct
It
concepts.
involves the-
Hold on.
No, it
hold on.
involves the same
consciousness.
being, the dualistic
Consciousness
nature
is
of
general.
consciousness.
Consciousness is the general state of being awake, aware of surroundings, and experiencing qualia, or the sensory feelings. Self-awareness is a high-level cognitive function, the ability to recognize oneself as an individual separate from the environment and others. So these are distinct concepts that are related, but they are not the same thing.
They are the same thing.
Okay,
Because
if you're
consciousness is dualistic.
devil's advocate,
Okay,
we're not
consciousness
gonna
is dualistic.
hold on, devil's advocate, we're not gonna be going anywhere in this conversation if you refuse to acknowledge how words work. If words don't mean words, then there's no point in us having a conversation.
Sure, no problem.
Okay, so he's going to give you the
Because-
definitions again to show you why they're two different things. Go ahead, guys.
All right. So consciousness is the what. It's being aware of thoughts, feelings, and the environment, right? The qualia. And then self-awareness is the who. It's recognizing that you are the one having those thoughts, feelings, and perceptions.
Okay, can I now? Can I interject now? Define the first term. Repeat that again for me, please.
Consciousness, the general state of being awake, aware of surroundings, and experiencing qualia.
Okay, stop there. Stop there. Being aware. Who is being aware? You understand
That's
that?
what
Listen to the
self-awareness is.
question.
Yes,
That's what
they
Being
are
self-awareness
aware,
related.
Who is being aware? Do you see that one points to the other? There's no
They
being
are
aware without
related.
a who.
I said that they're related, devil's advocate. They are related, but
It's
they are
not
not
that
the
they are
same thing.
related.
You're
They
taking
are
the
part of
one
the same
particular.
concept.
No. They are related, but they are not the same concept.
They
So
are
this.
not mutually exclusive. Okay?
Yes, they
No,
are.
I didn't say
They are
that.
mutually exclusive. Hold on. So, the advocate. Listen. I'm gonna give you the perfect analogy or the perfect example of this, right? Bees, for example. Bees are aware of their surroundings, but are they self-aware? Because bees live in a hive mind, right? So bees aren't
Can I
self-aware.
answer that?
They share a
Can I
mind.
answer that?
So hold on,
Can I answer?
advocate. Listen to what I'm saying. Advocate, hold on. You're just interrupting. Listen to what I'm saying.
Okay.
So bees are not self-aware, but they are aware of their surroundings, aren't they?
How can you prove that they're not self-aware? Are you inside a bee's mind?
Jesus Christ, bro.
Or you can laugh all you
Jesus
want.
fucking Christ. Are you literally going to sit here
can
and
laugh
tell
all
me
you
that
want.
you don't know that bees and insects like them live in a hive mind? They don't have self-awareness.
You
you're really going
ourselves-
to doubt
okay, let me tell you
hundreds
something.
of years of
Let me
science
tell
on
you
this?
something. Hey, appeal to authority is a logical fallacy, man.
That's not an appeal to
You can appeal
authority.
to authority
That's not an
anything you
appeal to
want.
an authority. That's not an appeal to an
Yeah.
authority. I'm
Are
citing
you
literally
inside the
science
bee's
on
mind?
insects here, bro. We're literally
It doesn't
citing the
matter
science
how-
on
it
insects. That's
doesn't
not
matter. Listen.
authority.
All right.
So
Listen, it doesn't
devil's
matter
advocate. Hold
how
on. I
many
do need to
times
correct
a
something.
human-
I do need to correct something. Okay. So an appeal to authority here would be like Volcy saying, scientists say that there's a hive mind. That's not what Volcy said. What Volcy said is we have evidence that they operate on a hive mind, right? So like
But
it's
it
a
is
subtle difference. I
impossible to know
understand for
for
somebody
sure.
that doesn't, hold on. I understand that for somebody that doesn't believe that words mean words, that you have a problem with that subtle nuance in what Volcy said. So Volcy did not commit a false authority fallacy or appeal to authority fallacy. You just seem to not like, science.
I'm just asking a simple question. No, I'm just asking a
This
simple
is
question.
far from a simple question, apparently.
Are you inside the mind of the bee to make sure that the bee is not self-aware? Maybe you're looking at a degree of self-awareness similar to yours, but we're different species. It makes no sense to have
All
the
right,
same level of self-awareness.
advocate. You realize that we can test an experiment on this, right? To see which animals have self-awareness and which ones don't.
Ahead.
Hold on, advocate. Let me finish what I'm saying. Let me finish what I am saying. Relax. There are ways to test whether or not an animal is self-aware. Just like how we test it with humans.
According
the way we
to
do it with
your own
humans,
concept
the
of
way we do it with
self-awareness.
humans, the way we do it with humans, the way we do it with fucking humans
But an animal
is
is
through
not
the
a
mirror
human.
test.
A bee is not a
Shut the
human.
fuck up. The way we do it with humans is through the mirror test. Like, for example, you give a 3-year-old, put a dot on their forehead, put them in front of a mirror, and they're going to try to touch the dot because they know that they're looking at themselves. We know that other animals do the same thing, like dolphins, like some sharks do it as well. We know that they'll look at themselves in the mirror because they're self-aware. They know they're looking at themselves.
Do dolphins have opposable thumbs?
When we do these type of tests, it's not the only one, but when we do similar tests to animals like bees and ants, they fail, which means that we know that they're not self-aware.
They fail the standards that we have imposed to be self-aware according to our experience.
What
So
other
devil's
standards are there?
advocate-
Go
Okay,
ahead.
does that make sense? Does that make sense?
It makes sense, but I'm asking you. Go ahead, guys. Go
Okay,
ahead.
there you go. You will never. You will never.
I want to hear
what.
what. So hold on. So we're gonna get to you next, Nate. I'm so sorry. We're trying to finish up devil's advocate here. I did want to get you
No, I
in
can
here.
finish
though.
anytime you want, guys. I really am grateful for interaction. I'm just bored, So I'm grateful. So whenever you decide to finish, it's okay by me.
Okay, well, I'm just wondering. I'm kind of wondering, like, what do you think are the criteria for determining self-awareness?
What I've been repeating over and over. It
You
is a
haven't been
paradox.
No, okay.
Because okay.
Yeah. We just have to move on, man.
I
We
dropped.
have to move
I'm
on,
so
bro.
sorry.
Yeah.
I mean, we were up shit creek with one paddle going in a circle there. I do. Nate, we are going to get to you here in 1 second. Let me, there's nobody over on Video Ninja. If you're watching on YouTube, there is a pinned comment with the link to get in on Video Ninja. It's really simple software to get in. I know there's a few call-in shows that use it, like Justin Deconstruction Zone uses it. So I feel like everybody knows the technology and everything. But hit up that link in the live chat there that's pinned up there at the top. Request up if you want to have any kind of debates. We do have some super chats that I want to address real quick. I do appreciate all of the gifts that are being sent today. There's this one, $2 from collapsitilism. This says this caller sucks, and he can say no to yes, no cues. I did put this one up earlier during the conversation with Truth, and when it was applicable. But thank you so much there for your super chat. We got one from Limited Light that says maximally great things don't need to command anything. It's a good point. That was also for the Truth conversation, Truth GPT. There's Silvafett became a member. Thank you so much there, Silvafett, for becoming a member over there on GE. I do want to remind everybody that Volcy here is giving us his time tonight, which I really appreciate. And if you want to show your appreciation, go on ahead. If you're on TikTok, follow Volcy right over there. If you're on YouTube, I have his link down in the description. Definitely go follow and subscribe over there on YouTube. I know he'd appreciate it. Can
I read the super chat as well? Just as got
yes,
on my
definitely.
end.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. So over there on Collapse Capitalism, he says, breath of fresh air to see us. I'm not sure I can say this on your channel, but he said, breath of fresh air to see field niggas in this space. Yes. Yes, we are. We are in this space. All right. We are in this space. I appreciate you for the $2 super chat. And yes, link in the description. You guys can go ahead and follow me there. And like I said, I do topics like this. I do politics as well. And I really appreciate it. We'll move on to Nate now. Oh, for Video Ninja, y'all, I pinned it in my YouTube as well. So you can go ahead and join it, and I'll pin it over on the Twitch as well in a few moments. So I do see everybody, you know, commenting over on the Black Atheist Coalition and over on my channel, Volcy Thoughts. You guys are all, you know, either calling us stupid or saying that we need to turn to Jesus, but the link is pinned. It's right there. But I get that all the time, Godless. People come through, call me stupid, and never come and join. It's pretty annoying.
Yeah. Okay. So we've got Nate up here now. Thank you so much, Nate, for sticking around. Are you over 18? And what are your pronouns?
Yeah. I'm a he, him, but I don't really care what you guys call me. I'm a Christian. I guess you can call me a Orthodox Christian, but I don't believe in the whole you have to be baptized thing, which is basically the main standard of an Orthodox Christian. So I know that kind of blurs the line. But moving on. So when you say, okay, after kind of like, I kind of want to split this up into two different conversations here. And I know you guys are the hosts. So of course, it's your show, but moving on. I want to just ask you what your guys' biggest like gripes with Christianity are. Okay. I want to write it down and then I want to take some time to think about it. But before I do all that, I also want to come up with my own gripe against the question that you are asking. Okay. But first, Can I get both your sides' biggest gripes? I just want to, from my understanding, so I could have something to knowledge myself on. Okay.
All right. Volcy, you go first.
There's no evidence that is actually true. And not only that, Christian colonialism was the worst thing, or at least one of the worst things that ever happened to Africa. It caused massive amounts of destruction and slavery, and denigrates my spiritual heritage. Those are the two biggest gripes. Number one, it's there's no evidence that it's true, and number two, the fact that it actually upholds white supremacy.
Yep. And then I would
fighting against Africa. Okay.
Oh, sorry. Did you get what you needed there, Nate?
Yeah. We're good. Okay. Keep going.
Okay. And then mine, coming at it from an engineering perspective, I find that the Old Testament laws that Christians are saddled with are particularly horrible and have contributed to a lot of the societal and systemic ills that we are facing today. Many of those ills are part of what Volcy talked about right there. But I would say that it extends out even further to include like societal misogyny that women have experienced, as well as, various other things committed against the BIPOC community.
I'm not trying to glance over these remarks because they're very important, and obviously you guys have questions about them, so I want to at some point answer. I've heard both of your sides before, but actually I haven't really heard the African, like the white supremacy, but I understand how that could be affected. I actually love Bob Marley, bro. And so I like how he preaches about his own type of God, right? And he's I don't know, Jamaica, I guess that's not really, I don't know, that's not Africa, but he has African heritage, right? And he talks about, I don't know, moving on. I would like to argue against the point of why is your God so horrible by saying, if my God is so horrible, then why is it that most American relationships that are founded around God succeed? Okay, that's my question to you guys. The stats aren't lying.
So you're talking about why, so just to make sure that I understand your question, why are Christian relationships more successful?
Yes, and especially in American, like American,
what's right? I get you. Right, I get you. Well, by what measure are you claiming success?
Success is a relationship without a marriage that divorce doesn't happen in. Okay, that's what I would describe.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I would not say that that's in any way like indicative of a healthy relationship. And if that is it, the reason why it seems to, the reason why it would seem to be better is because Christianity imposes this whole aspect of you should not divorce. So like that encourages people to stay in toxic relationships. It encourages abused women to stay in an abusive marriage. It encourages marital rape. So I would think that if you were to take like a real, a truthful survey of it, I'm not sure that the Christian marriage would actually prove to be a healthier one.
I was actually going to bring this up as well. There are relationships that do last long, but according to research that we have, the relationships that last the longest are the ones who wait to have children, are over 25, make about 50,000 plus a year, and share a religious background. That doesn't mean that Christianity in and of itself is the one that's causing it. It's the fact that people share it. So you can get a Muslim couple who are older than 25, wait a little bit to have children, and each make about $8,000 a year. That will also be successful. You can get a couple who are Shintos, Hindus, atheists, who are also have the same type of thing, and their marriage is successful as well. It's not the religion that's making it successful. The reason why Christianity is pointed out is because obviously in America, Christianity is the majority religion. So of course we're gonna see that more often. But if you just go ahead and basically control for all that, if you get like an equal amount of Muslims, an equal amount of Christians, equal amount of atheists, equal amount of et cetera, and you have everything that I listed before, you know what I mean? They're 25 or older, they lived together before, and they make 50,000 plus a year, you will see also that those marriages are successful. It's not Christianity doing it, it's the fact that there's other social factors.
So, just because there's two sides here, I'm just gonna give me like 1 minute, okay? I'm just gonna make sure I get some information because I know that we are all like pretty logical people. So I'm gonna get some stats for you guys real quick, because although I do agree with how like the Bible does say that you are supposed to stay in a relationship, it does also say that if your spouse has done something wrong, then you should not stay in that relationship. It gives permission for a divorce, not in the Old Testament, but in the New Testament.
Well, sorry for interrupting, but only in the instance of sexual immorality. And only for the man.
I would also
the woman.
with that.
Okay, but definitely find book, chapter, verse where it says that women can divorce men, like for any reason, like, you know, domestic violence or anything like that.
So it doesn't say for any reason, but it does say for domestic violence, women can divorce men,
please.
and for. Okay, let me
book,
actually
chapter, verse.
get that
I'd love to hear it.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to read some of my super chat. Volcy, I don't know if you've got any super chats, but I do have one from Limited Light, which I don't know if y'all have noticed, but I have screen effects. Whenever you do the gifts and you do the super chats, there's going to be screen effects. So like you do the roses, and I'm one to say that it's going to pile up with roses on the screen depending on how many roses you give. I think I know that I at least programmed it that way. Hopefully it actually works, or maybe. Oh wait, yeah, it should be doing it. So sorry you wasted the 39, honey. I'll have to see if I can fix that later. But we have $10 from Limited Light. It says Google the divorce rates while talking to him. Yeah, I've got something brewing over here right now for that. Yeah.
And I do got another one. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh no, you go ahead.
Yeah, and same person. Capitalism or collapse capitalism, same thing, you know, field to field. Yeah, we in here, bro. The field is in here. We the field Negroes. Like that's a certain thing that we say in Black culture. The house and the field, you know. So and we all know who the house is. The house is you know, the Candace Owens of the world, and the Byron Daniels of the world, and the Jesse Lee Petersons of the world. That's the houses. And the fields is people like us. And I do have one more. Did you have another one? Godless? I could go? Okay, cool. And OWW, which is only white woman, because she's the only white woman on my channel. She always says. All right. OWW says Christian marriages. Thank you for the $5 super chat, OWW. Christian marriages don't last longer than those of other religions or the non-religious. And I think that is true when you actually I just gotta go ahead and find it. I did find a study like that before, especially those in the Bible Belt. They're actually more likely to get divorced than less likely, and that's because, of course, you know, poverty and stuff like that, and also because of, you know, because poverty affects stress, and stress causes domestic abuse, just like how we said before. So yeah, those really don't last as long as we think they do. But appreciate you so much, OWW. And she did send another one for $5. Hey, I appreciate y'all killing the super chats today, man. I do appreciate that. She says data shows Christian divorce rates are equal to or higher than many other groups, and that is also correct. They're about the same. And shout out to Caitlin. I see Caitlin's in the chat as well. Shout out to you, Caitlin. So OWW is not the only white woman. It's also Caitlin. I appreciate you.
Yeah, Casey is pretty awesome about making sure to hit up all the chats over there. While I don't have the fully integrated stuff working out for whatever reason right now, I know that I added it in there, but apparently it's not working like I had programmed it to. So I'm going to have to debug that. We have right now, if you do, you'll get confetti for any super chat that's over $4.99, and then over on TikTok, any gift that's over 99 coins or whatnot is going to do the confetti. We're going to get money rain, which if you'll see right now, money. Oh shit!
Oh, we got the hat and mustache. There's a snake in my boot. I'll do that. Whenever someone gives me the hat and mustache.
Yeah, I usually do like a yeehaw or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, like a yeehaw, real fucking hick. So for money rain, it's going to be any TikTok gift over $999, and the money rain over on YouTube is set up to anything over $49.99.
Awesome.
But I'll do the money rain one more time. If you really want to see that float across the screen, feel free to do the money rain over on the TikTok or whatever. But I do have those set up over here on my little thing, which while Nate is still looking up all of his stuff there, Volcy, if you want to get sophisticated with your like streaming setup and whatnot, I do have my my debate streamer suite that gets you. I don't know if you saw me popping up the fallacies like that right there. I've got an easy to use like OBS tool suite that you can set up pretty quickly, and you can get that. You can get Bible verses. You can also get the overlays that I've got right here, like the little names and everything like that. But that's just if you want it. And I've also got a YouTube comment and TikTok comment manager that I'm able to pop up comments on the screen. So yeah, I'm willing to set anybody up with that. Anybody that wants it. Nate, are you back yet? Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I'm just still researching. That's on me. I kind of came in this head first instead of like actually planning it out. But that's just because I thought that the information was going to be a lot easier, and that's on me.
Okay. Well, Nate, we can drop you down. And what you just if you find something you want to make a point, feel free to quest back up. At any point tonight. We'll be on for at least another hour or so. Carlos, I'd like for you to come.
I do have. Okay, so when I read your question at first, I did want to say one thing. So today I recently read. So it's Corinthians. It's 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verses 4 to 8, and basically that is the reinstatement of what love is in the Bible. And so my problem is when you say, why is your God so horrible? But then it reinstates what love is. And then you can replace the word love for God, and it basically it has the same equivalent meaning of what we believe as Christians God to be. And so it's just weird to me how, you guys ask those questions of like, if you want, I could read it. But you guys say
it's
stuff
up on the
like,
screen right now.
Oh, perfect.
Love is patient, love is kind, love is not envious or boastful or arrogant or rude. It does not insist on its own way. It is not irritable. It keeps no record of wrongs. So how does this how does this cover up or make up for allowing marital rape?
So first things, I love that topic because I've actually had it asked to me before. Not that I love the topic like anything. Hold up. My bad. But it's important for us to understand. Yeah. It's important for us to understand that God doesn't want marital rape. When we look at the character of God, what he says, and I can't give you Bible verses off the top of my head. I'm not well researched enough. but I know what he says, and what he says is it is two flesh becoming one, and that you are, when you have married another person, it is a consent of some sort. However, it is a matter of heart and not a matter of one person wanting it and the other person not, right? Again, it is a matter of you marrying somebody gives you and them consent on some basis level of almost like living together, right? When you marry somebody, you're expected to live together.
Okay. So Nate, I want to step you through this. Okay. So I've got Ephesians 5:22-33 right up here. Okay.
Right. Yep.
Just so that you're aware. And it says, wives, be subject to your husbands as to the Lord, for the husband is the head of the wife, just as Christ is head of the church, his body, and is himself its savior. Just as the church is subject to Christ, so also wives ought to be in everything to their husbands. Now, I get that we need to continue on, but I want to make sure that you understand that this is saying that wives are to submit to their husbands just like they're submitting to God.
It's like he's saying if. It's not like a you have to do this. This is a commandment. It's a hey, if this is what happening, this is if, right? That's what, go to the very beginning. Look, the very beginning.
The very beginning. Wives, be subject to your husbands as to the
5.
Lord.
No. Verse 1.
Why do we have to go back to verse 1?
Oh, my bad. Chapter 5, verse 1. It explains in the very beginning of the context. The context is if, right?
If what?
If you and another, basically, if the relationship is failing, do you get that?
Where's
Ephesians 5? Yeah. Therefore, be imitators of God as beloved children, and walk in love as Christ loved us and He gave himself up for us, a fragrant offering and sacrifice to God. But sexual immorality and impurity of any kind or greed must not even be mentioned among you, as is proper among saints. What
right?
are
So actually, I could perfectly tie this in with what we're talking about. So in Ezekiel, there's a false prophecy that happens, right? It says Tyre is supposed to break down, and it's supposed to break down by some other guy, right? But if you read, and it's chapters away, so I can understand why people believe that it's just a false prophecy without actually looking into it. Chapters away, it preaches about how basically if Ezekiel, God says to Ezekiel, you need to make sure that if you see somebody doing something wrong, you tell them, and if you don't, then their blood is on your hands. If you see a righteous man,
so Nate, if I can interrupt, because I feel like this is totally, I guess I don't see where this connects, but I just want to circle back around to this. You said that the very beginning of Ephesians 5 has an if statement, like saying that if something is the case, right? Where is the if here? Because it's definitely not 5:1. It's not 5:2. It's not 5:3. It's not the next set of 3. So 4, 5, 6. I do not see an if in there. 7, 8, 9. There's nothing. I don't see an if there. 10, 11, 12. Nope. No if. There's a for it. No if on this page. Shit.
Go back. Hold on, go back.
Hey, G, can I get some clarification from Nate real quick? So,
Go ahead.
Nate, this is what because I think this started off on the fact that we're talking about like marriages and how Christian marriages can actually be damaging towards women and towards men, in my opinion. But it can be damaging, especially towards women, because we live in a patriarchal society. Because according to the Christian theology, may not be yours, but according to mainstream Christian theology, you stay in your marriage because divorce is not allowed. And that, allows for domestic abuse. It allows for marital rape. And they're going off of the Bible in order to do this. Now, your point is that they're misinterpreting the Bible and the woman can leave if she gets if she's a victim of domestic abuse. And if that's the case, is it in the Bible and book, chapter, verse? Is that what you're trying to say?
Sorry, I'm so sorry. Can you re-say?
I'll read it. Yeah, I'll read it.
I'm so
okay.
sorry. I'm so
sorry.
This
entire conversation started off on marriages. GE pointed out that within a lot of Christian marriages, we get a lot of issues of like domestic abuse and marital rape, which is why we will say that they're not an advantage to our society to necessarily have a Christian marriage, because it allows for that, because of verses in the Bible that tells the wife to be submissive, and the fact that divorce is not allowed according to mainstream Christian theology. Now, what I'm trying to understand is that you are disputing that, and you're saying that it is allowed if something like domestic abuse or rape happens. Are you saying that the mainstream Christian theology is misinterpreting those verses, and or are you saying that there's actual verses that do allow a woman to leave if she is a victim of domestic abuse and within a Christian marriage?
I'm saying the current teachings, right? I'm saying that back in the past, it was understood that if a man was divorcing his wife just to basically use her, because this is what happened back in the day. A man would divorce his own wife, or tell the wife to divorce him, and then divorce his wife. That's what happened. And then he would basically use that woman as a way to get in contact with higher powers of men, right? So he would let that woman sleep with another man, and then he would remarry that woman. Okay, and these are things that actually happen. And so I believe that in those olden times, it says that women are able to divorce on a sexual immorality thing, right? And moving on, because again, I don't have everything. I would actually like to read one of the verses on the screen right now. It says, "Be careful."
Hold on. Just before we move on, you're saying that divorce can happen for sexual immorality, but you don't have the reference with you right now. Is that what you're saying?
Actually, I do have it, but it's from the man's side, and that's my problem right now.
Cool. So we're asking from the woman's side. All right. So from the man's side, he can leave her if she does sexual immorality, but the woman still has to stay if the man does sexual immorality.
So I don't agree with that teaching. No.
Okay.
I agree.
We're not asking about teaching. We're asking about what's in the Bible.
I agree that it took the man's side a lot in the Bible, because I mean, every time. Like, think about the theology.
Every time. Sorry, it's every time. Like, if we had to notate this.
I don't agree with that. I'm gonna have to disagree. I'm sorry. We don't have to die on this hill, though. Moving on, though. Yeah, man. Like, I feel like the verse on your screen explains how relationships should be taken care of, right? Be careful.
Hold on. We still need an if. Like, we're still looking for an if. We're trying to find an if here. You said that there's an if situation, and we have not come across the word if yet.
You're right. Honestly, I will concede that it doesn't say if, and that's on me. Maybe I think I was thinking of something else. Yeah, that's on me.
Probably. But if you go back. So here's 22. I don't think there's nothing prior to this. Give thanks to God the Father at all times for everything in the name of our Lord Jesus Christ, being subject to one another out of reverence for Christ. Wives, be subject to your husbands and everything. So I just want to cover this first page right here, getting back to the actual topic that we were discussing. This page right here lays it out where the wives are to submit to the man, correct?
So actually, if you read the bottom verse there, it says, just as the church is subject to Christ, so also wives ought to be in everything to their husbands, right?
Right.
And so this basically, this is how us Christians believe that Jesus marries the church, right? And we believe that just like the marriage of the church to Jesus was a perfect man. He wouldn't commit immorality, right?
Right. No, hold on. Okay. Well, you're doing a bunch of. Do you know what eisegesis is?
What?
Do you know what eisegesis is? Eisegesis. So there's exegesis and there's eisegesis. So the way that I remember it is exegesis, you're extracting information out of the text, whereas eisegesis, you're putting something on the text that's not there. It's you putting something on. That's what you just did. You put something onto the text there about this relationship that's being set up in these three verses, because this relationship right here that's being set up is the wife is to submit to the husband. And I mean, I'm just trying to get on the same page as far as these three verses go, because I know that you're going to like the next three verses. Okay. So I'm just wanting to see if you at least understand that this is the wives are to submit to the husbands in everything.
I'm going to be honest, man, because it doesn't say everything. I'm going to say like submit as in like partnership.
I'm sorry. Right? Volcy, can I get a fucking eye check here? Cause like it says in everything, right?
Where?
In everything.
Oh, and everything to their right. Also, okay, my bad. I read the first
Okay.
verse. I'm so sorry, man. Yeah,
That's okay. All right. So this
just as
next
a
part,
church subject. Yep.
right. So this next part is what you're going to like. Husbands, love your wives just as Christ loved the church and gave himself up for her in order to make her holy by cleansing her with the washing of water by the word, so as to present the church to himself in splendor without spot or wrinkle or anything of the kind, so that she may be holy without blemish. Now, one thing noticeably here is the lack of submission to the woman, right? He's supposed to take care of her, but he's not supposed to submit to her. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. So in the same way, husbands should love their wives as their own bodies. Who loves his wife loves himself, for no one ever hates his own flesh, but he nourishes and tenderly cares for it, just as Christ does for the church, blah, 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 because we are members of his body, right? So yeah, all loving things, right? Oh, so nice and good. Of course, it continues, with the very flowery language and everything like that. But it gets to this very last part, which is very interesting. It says, each of you, however, should love his wife as himself, and a wife should respect her husband. Now, the thing that I want to hyper focus in on here is that respect, because a lot of these traditions, a lot of these translations are going to render this as respect. But do you know what the actual word is?
No. You're talking about the Hebrew?
No, well, this is New Testament, so it would be Koine Greek, but it's
Gotcha.
actually phobe or phobos, right? For phobia, it's fear. The wife should fear her husband. So, I get that there's all this flowery language about how the man is supposed to treat his wife with all this other stuff, right? And everything. But then it gets to the end there and it really undercuts everything by saying that the woman should fear the husband. Now, I don't know if you're married, Nate, but whenever you do get married, do you think that your wife should fear you?
I think that the word respect fits a lot better than fear there. But in the same way that Christians use the term you're supposed to fear the Lord is a
Right.
good example of how
Why should you fear the
used.
Lord?
Because when you do wrong, the first person to know about it is the Lord. When you do wrong in a relationship,
Because the Lord will
first
do
person
what
know
to you?
about it, forgive you.
That's a weird way of saying fuck you up, right? When does the Lord in the Bible ever do the forgiveness thing whenever people
John
disobey
3:16.
him? No, so right. I mean, that's New Testament. What I'm talking about is in the Bible previous to this, where has the Lord hasn't been forgiving. That's a new invention for Judaism in the New Testament. What I'm saying is that the fear of the Lord thing, which comes from the Old Testament, right? The fear of, I believe it's the fear of God is the beginning of wisdom. I can't remember which psalm that is, but it's either a psalm or proverb. But the reason why you should fear God is because he will fucking kill you. He will fuck you up, or he'll fuck your family up like he did to King David, right? Do you call what happened to King David?
Yes, he messed with his whole family, and then didn't he die? And then
Well,
his wife or something.
I mean, eventually David died. No, so what happened was, King David, nice little flowery story here. King David wants to sleep with Uriah's wife, Bathsheba, right?
That's what it was. Yeah.
Right. And so King David had Uriah sent to the front line so he would definitely get stabbed in the face.
Yep.
So that he could take Uriah's wife, Bathsheba, he takes her, he has a kid with her. God is very disappointed in him, right? Because God disobeyed, or David disobeyed God. And so he not only unalived the kid, but then he had David's wives and concubines graped right out in public in front of everybody.
Could I ask you guys a question?
Sure.
Yeah.
Do you guys? This is personal, so you don't feel the need to answer. Do you guys have wives?
Yes.
Okay. If basically the president was like, hey, both of you guys, you gotta serve your time. I'm gonna put you right up front in the Iran war right now. Right? Would you say would you say to the president, like, oh no, this is obviously you would say, no, this is a free country, I don't want to go there, right?
How is this connecting, Nate? I'm not sure how this
That's
analogy
exactly
is
what's
connecting.
happening
Carlos.
when the saint brings, man, I don't even know the names, bro. Let me, you know what? I don't want to get lost in the sauce here. I just want to go back and originate all the way back to what I was talking about with the Tyre failed prophecy. Okay, I'm sorry. I know I'm jumping around here, but I want you guys to understand that a lot of times we have things that are said earlier in chapters of the Bible, okay, in these books, just like Tyre, that basically contradict the speakings of what you guys are talking about. And so again, I am not well versed enough to argue every point, but yeah. And if you want me to give the full evidence of Tyre, basically, bro, I don't even know his name. Damn it.
So Nate, I just want to tell you right now, I really don't give a fuck about Tyre.
Really?
Well, yeah, I don't. I guess I don't give a fuck because I don't know how it connects. Like how is this?
No.
Huh?
Yeah, honestly, hey guys, no, I actually appreciate your time so much. I'm gonna have to just like concede with a conversation because honestly, I don't know enough. I'm gonna have to humble myself and yeah. Have a good one,
All right,
guys.
yeah, no, so Nate, I totally appreciate you acknowledging that. It takes a very big person to acknowledge that. So I definitely appreciate you doing that. We're not trying to give you too hard of a time here, but we are trying to illuminate some harder passages in the Bible. And when you go back and you look at these passages and everything like that, I want you to try to put yourself into whatever position. Like if you go and read Deuteronomy 21:10-14, and I want you to put yourself in the position of the captured woman who is then raped by an Israelite man, right? I want you to put yourself in that situation. I want you to put yourself in the situation of Numbers 31:17-18, where little girls are sex trafficked, like a Epstein Island style. Like I want you to put yourself into the position of those little girls, right? And then I want you to ask yourself whether or not this God really is omnibenevolent, omnipotent, or omniscient. That you believe in. I really want you to dive deep into that and really take a hard look at those verses.
Can I just say one thing real quick? I know that I just conceded on this, but do you guys think? Okay, I have two questions for you. First, just to answer that one, do you guys think that heaven could possibly be so good that it makes up for all of the pain on earth? Do you think that's possible? If heaven is real.
That's a good question. I don't think so because like it makes all the suffering that happens on Earth, most of it seems completely unnecessary. So I'm not sure how having a heaven would make up for all of that. Might as well just should have put us all in heaven in the first place.
I'll answer it like this, Nate. I'll answer it like this. Imagine you do have a girlfriend or a wife or a daughter. Let's especially a daughter. What in your opinion, what would it take for you to forgive and forget, or at least endure having your daughter raped by somebody? You know, what would it take for you to be okay with that situation?
I think that I would have to have a lot of, okay, and not that I agree with anything that like would happen to my daughter, right? I would want to prevent it at all costs, right? But I think that it would take a lot of joy for me to counteract the pain that I've witnessed just from seeing or hearing about that, right? So I think that that's what heaven has to be, right? It has to be like joy in order for it to be something that's like for the world to be this painful, right? So
Lathe is up here. Lathe is a friend of the channel. We're not trying to dogpile you or anything, but this is particularly horrifying what you're saying right now. But I do want to make sure that I understand this correctly, that you would look a rape victim in the eye and you would be like, well, hey, at least there's heaven, right?
Well, no. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that I would look if I knew for a fact that heaven existed and that it was complete joy. If I knew those two things to be true, then I would tell my daughter, I am so sorry that this happened to you. I would it wouldn't be in the first. It would be like months after, right? Months after.
Nate,
Then I would talk and be like,
Nate,
I hope that we can experience the joy.
Nate, I'm trying to interrupt you so you stop saying something really horrible. It's not okay. I don't care.
I agree. I agree.
Then it doesn't matter. Then it doesn't matter. I don't care. In the same way that I don't care if Jesus stood in front of me and said, drown a baby, because that baby will go straight to heaven. And if you don't, that baby is going to grow up to be Pol Pot. I would tell Jesus to go fuck himself. You don't drown babies. It doesn't make it okay because they go to heaven. You don't grape people. You don't torture people.
Babies then.
Pardon?
I'm really happy he doesn't say drown babies then.
Do you remember the flood?
Of course I know the flood.
Yeah. How many babies drowned in that?
About all of them?
Yeah, all of them.
So
Cool.
God is okay with drowning babies.
Yeah. Well, heaven must be a really good place. I mean, that's the only equivalent, right? If God does exist, then heaven must be.
Hold on, Nate, hold on. I'm sorry, Nate. I have to appeal to your humanity right now.
Right.
Do you understand what you're saying? Babies dying, all good and well, because we go into another dimension where there's a city made of gold. That sounds insane, my guy.
No, not a city made of gold. I'm saying like the absolute best place times infinity, bro. That's what I'm saying. Something unfathomable. Joy that is unfathomable. I think that might be worth it. Oh
Jesus
my gosh, jump scare. I am leaving, bro.
I'm sorry. Lath, I interrupted you. Go ahead, Lath. I'm sorry. I don't.
Here's the thing. I've spoken with Nate before, and this is how he is. And he likes to come into new lives and act like we've never had this conversation before. And this is what he does. He acts like he's kind of nice, but then he says, well, but I mean, if you did get great, Jesus is love, and it's going to be so great forever. So it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Nate left out.
Stomach, bro.
Yeah, no.
I'm kind of sick to my stomach with this one. I don't. I don't even know what to say, bro. Like I'm trying to appeal to his humanity. Like, does he understand what he's saying? I don't.
No, I don't think he does.
Anyway, nope. And you know what? I hear it all the time.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
No, you're fine. No, you're good. Hey, John, how you doing?
Hey, Kevin.
Oh, okay.
So these
friendly.
Yeah, friendly. Kevin's a friendly. Lath, I'm glad that you were able to come up here and say that. I was trying to get to the part where it's just like, there's just absolutely nothing that could make up for that kind of horrible interaction. And so it's like the fact that he's like, yeah, it just had to be really good. Like in order to make up for it, it's like nothing would make up for that. Just absolutely nothing.
It's like, crap! It happened on it's an old video. Actually, I had the video posted on my account, and it's like the guy who approached Dillahunty with well, you're assuming those little girls are innocent, and the outrage.
Jesus
I mean, it's
Christ.
just fucking disgusting the bullshit excuses they'll give, and yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it's totally crazy. Well, Lath,
thanks for having me out.
Yeah,
appreciate it.
No problem, Lath.
See you later.
Yeah, Kevin, we are trying to just have ops up here, but if you were wanting to add something to that conversation, I was going to let you do it.
No, that's okay and all that, because I came in around the marriage arguments and shit, and I originally was gonna, but no, it's fine. There's nothing here for me to add to, so it's all good. I'll drop down.
Okay.
So it's good to be here, though. Take care.
Yeah, thanks, Kevin. All right, we don't have anybody in the queue right now, so if you are watching either on the YouTube or on TikTok and you want to come up on YouTube, you got to hit that ge.hop.2/talk to me, and you can get in the Video Ninja queue over here. I don't see anybody that's popped in. Nobody's joined in yet. We're keeping an eye on it over there, so if you want, if you're over there on YouTube and you don't like what we're saying, definitely request up.
Yeah, definitely. And over on my YouTube as well. Shout out to all of my mods who are on the YouTube right now. Shout out to You Resist, and to Here and Libra And Weed Bro, shout out to y'all for always being there. And Collapse Capitalism, you know, I appreciate you. Shout out to you as well, Collapse Capitalism. And I appreciate y'all. If anyone disagrees with what we have on the board, we're asking, why is your God so horrible? At least the Christian one and the Muslim one as well. If you're a Muslim, you could come up, because that God is also terrible. So you can go ahead and come up and talk to us. The link is pinned. Over on the Black Atheist Coalition, I do see some of y'all there as well. The link is pinned to talk to us, and we appreciate that. And Deconstruction Junction, shout out to Deconstruction Junction. The link is pinned there as well, and you guys can definitely talk to us. If you're here over on TikTok, there's been someone in the chat. I'm not sure if you're seeing it, GE. I think the name is Jaden. I've been telling them to go ahead and come on up. I don't know if you can send them a request, but they've been crashing out in the comments for like the past 20 minutes now. And KC's been, you know, letting them know, go ahead and come on up. But they just want to sit in the comments and ignore me saying to request so we can have a discussion.
Yeah, I just sent him a request. So, Jasha, if you want to come up, we can be nice and have civil conversations. You know, we'll be good. I think that I know that they requested up once before, and I tried to get him up here, but they immediately left out. Let's see.
That's interesting, isn't it? Yeah, like they'll either request or they'll crash out in the comments and they'll be like, "Hey, you want to come up? Want to come up? Want to come up?" And they rather just ignore all that. It's like it gets to a point I'm like, okay, are these bots? Because and like they don't respond to you. They respond to everybody else, but they won't respond to the host. They won't respond to anybody else on the panel. They just respond to everybody else, but whoever's on the panel. It's like, y'all be scared, bro.
So let's see. Limited Light over there on the YouTube, a 17-month membership message saying, "What's tactic?" Yeah, what is that? We do have a lot of gifts that are coming through. Let's see. KC did their dailies with the popular. Super popular one. Colin doing their stuff with the goats, the dailies and everything like that. Ace sending in her heart. Casey over there doing the more goats. So everybody, thank you so much. Oh, Colin sent a let 'em cook. All right, let's see. Let me clear off some of these. We would like somebody to get on up in here. If anybody would like to come on up.
Over on my YouTube, Jean-Jacques, hold on, Jean-Jacques Dessalines. Oh, don't tell me you a Zoe. Umervini, Nekpa, Umervini. Jean-Jacques Dessalines, Umervini, no la. Okay, just go ahead and click on that link and then we'll not okay? I had to hit a little Creole on them. That's because I recognize that name, Jean-Jacques Dessalines. He's a Haitian, so I recognize that. Okay. So Jean-Jacques, go ahead and hit that link, and we'll talk to you. All right. For myself, I got another super chat over from Collapse Capitalism. Says F Spiky Steve. Who's Spiky Steve? Was Spiky Steve someone crashing out in my comments? Because I wasn't paying attention. Y'all gotta let me know. Yeah, I wasn't paying attention. I don't know who Spiky Steve is. But hey, Jean-Jacques, go ahead and hit that link. You telling me that you're gonna expose us, so go ahead. Did he come on up yet, Godless?
No, not on the not on the Video Ninja, at least.
No, all right, not on the Video Ninja. All right. So Jean-Jacques, on the video on my YouTube link, you should be able to see it. Matter of fact, I'll post it again I'll post it again in the chat if he needs it, because he said that he'll go ahead and come up and let me tag him now. There's the link.
Definitely. Oh.
I sent you the link, Jean-Jacques, so you can't say I didn't want you. You can't say I didn't want you to come up because I just sent you the link and I tagged you in it too.
Hi there, Tanika.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I shouldn't have gotten up. Drop me down. I'm so sorry.
Okay. No, that's
Take
okay.
Care. I love how you call.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I hit the thing before you started talking. I'm so sorry, Tanika. I definitely didn't mean to drop you down in the middle of a sentence. I thought I was just purely reacting there. That's my bad, Tanika. Let's see. I don't know. Let me know if they're having trouble getting into the room. I don't think that they should be. I mean, it should be the same link that you got, and you were able to get in just fine.
Yeah. It's just, I was able to get in, so I'm not sure what's going on. Don't tell me this guy was a troll. Don't tell me he was a troll. That's if he was a troll, that's gonna piss me off, because I was excited. I'm always excited when someone says that. Oh, I can crush you. I can go ahead and expose you. I'm always excited when someone says that, because immediately when they come in, I already know what's gonna be. It's gonna be a shit show. It happens all the time. They come in saying that they're gonna kill me, crush me, all this other good stuff, and they always shit the bed every single time. It never fails. So it's hilarious.
If y'all are over there on my YouTube stream, it's pinned at the top, ge.hop.to talk to me. You guys can get up in my box. It's not a wet box. It's actually a really nice box. You'll be able to, talk to us from my box if you would like to get up in my box. If you're in the chat right now, it would really help us out if you could, tap on the screen, get us up to the, like 10,000 here soon. I think that would help us out. Make sure you're tapping on our actual thing. I know we're doing it horizontally right now, so make sure you tap on my actual video at the top of the thing, in order to get those tippy taps in. Really appreciate it if y'all could get us up that high. Oh yeah, Rocket City Reason. Thank you so much there, hun. Yes, so we do have Rocket City Reason that we are putting on this year. Volcy here is going to be one of our MCs. We're so happy to have Volcy as one of our MCs, and we've got a lot of great stuff that we are going to be doing this year for Rocket City Reason. We've got Seth Andrews that's going to be starting out the day with his presentation, and then we've got 3 separate panels. One is a Talking to Theist channel. One's a content creation panel, and the other one is what's the third one? Activism and community building. So we've got those panels that are going to be going on. We've got Forrest, Valkai, and Erica Gutsick Gibbon that's going to be following up at the end of the day. And then we've got a live line show that night. On Friday night, we've got an Alabama barbecue and a drag show. Also a game night directly after that. And then we've got on Sunday, we've got a group tour of the Space and Rocket Center here in Huntsville. So, oh yeah, the date. Thank you, honey. The date is October 23rd through 25th. Later on this year, you can go to rocketcityreason.com to either get your tickets, look at hotel information, all of that kind of stuff.
I'm excited for that. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Godless.
No. You go ahead.
Yeah, I said I am so excited for that. I've always wanted to be to one of those. But the moment that I deconstructed, I immediately started looking for community. I mean, it was hard to find, and I'm glad now that I started content creating, I'm able to be part of more communities, able to grow with you guys, and the fact that you reached out to me to be an MC, absolutely love it. I hope I do a good job, and you just like this is one of those things that I've always wanted to go to. I also have an event coming up myself as well. If you allow me to promote that, then I will. But all those, great. Y'all, the Black Atheist, Agnostic, Skeptics, and Humanist Cookout is coming. All right. The link is in my bio to go ahead and RSVP if you would like to come down. It is going down in Central Florida. If you are a Black Atheist, Agnostic, Skeptic, or Humanist person, go ahead and click on that link. Come on down, and I would appreciate you all being part of there. It's going to go down to Central Florida once again. We're not going to be going to Disney World. If you got the kiddos with you, that's all good and well. You can go to Icon Park. You can hit up Disney. You can go to the Legoland. You can do all of those things, right? But if you're an adult, we're going to get a section. I got a section for us already. All right, so we got sections going on, y'all. It's gonna go down at a park Saturday. Friday night, we're gonna have a meet and greet dinner, and Sunday we'll have breakfast. So it'll be just a great time, and I'll appreciate you if you all come down. Definitely go to Rocket City Reason as well. I will be out there in MCing, and hope to see you all there. We'll build a community.
Yeah, totally. If you're part of the BIPOC community and want to go to that cookout that Volcy's hosting, definitely look it up. I mean, from a pure community kind of standpoint here, I think that community driven events just like that are incredibly important. It allows everybody to really kind of meet in real life and really connect on a different level than you get online. And I mean, online is important too. I definitely don't want to like downplay that at all, but it definitely is a different feeling, like actually being in person and really having that just that connection that you can feel with other people in the community when you're sit there face to face with them.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's the main reason why I wanted to start an in real life one, to meet with everybody online. And okay, old white woman over on my, you go to $5 super chat. She says these men need to visualize what pushing a fully made human being out your junk would be like. You guys can't handle period. No, like I've seen some of those videos, the period cramp simulators, where they put it around guys to see if they would they put it around some men to see if they can stand period cramps, and a lot of those men just gave up. They can't stand them at all. Like I don't know how women do it. Like all respect to women, I don't know how y'all do it. Y'all go through those cramps and y'all pushing our big ass heads out. Like y'all see my head, right? Like this was a big thing to push out. My mom had to have a C-section. So my mom had to have a C-section because she couldn't push this out. You know what I mean? I've had a big head since I was a kid.
So collapsitalism. Yeah. Collapsitalism. Sorry, I'm stuck at this. Anyways, says F Spiky Steve on my channel as well. They said, don't be afraid to read the super chat. And it just got lost amongst a bunch of the other super chats. We've also got one from Zoomicide celebrating 80 months of membership over there on the YouTube channel, saying at least the people you get on don't repeatedly shout the N-word like the maggots I've heard on other channels. Yeah, that's only happened a couple times to me. And like one of the times that it happened, some guy got up there and did that to my live. Jovan came up right after that. It was
yeah, it happens to me all the time.
Oh really? That sucks.
Yeah, all the time.
Where is Waldo says gave $5. Thank you so much there. Where is Waldo? Just wanted to contribute something to this great stream. Great to see Volcy here. I agree. It's great to have Volcy on the channel over there on YouTube as well as here on my channel, even though I kind of feel I feel a little ashamed that I'm not pulling more people right now.
Yeah, no, all good, man. Like we can do these all the time, and we're gonna go do the line later on this month as well. So I mean, there'll be other chances. I definitely want to get on with Justin one of these days. Yeah, because Justin be killing it. I'll see if I can get on with Ian. I don't know. I don't think Ian knows who I am, but if I get on with him one day, that'll also be awesome. You know what I mean? These collaborations are great. So some nights are slower than others. I've had slow nights, so it's all good and well, man. I just appreciate being here. I appreciate you, GE, for having me on. Definitely. Yeah.
And like I said, I appreciate you being here. I think that having a creator of your caliber, like, out here doing what you're doing, I think that it's just awesome, and it definitely needs to be celebrated. I'm just kind of curious. One's in the chat if we should do like a stream reset over there on TikTok to see if we can get some new people in here. I know sometimes that helps over there on the Tickety Talk.
Oh yeah, sometimes that does help if you do a reset. For some reason, it puts you back in the algorithm and people join up again. It's kind of weird.
Yeah. I use the ones in chat thing. I hear so many people using. Okay, yeah. So I think that I might do a reset over there on TikTok. Nothing's going to change for everybody on YouTube. If you're on YouTube and you want to get up into the box, you want to have a conversation, just hit up that link that's pinned either here or on Volcy's channels. Definitely hit up that link if you would like to challenge us on whether or not you think God is horrible. So I'm going to go ahead and do a restart over here on the TikTok, and we'll be back here in just 1 second. So everybody just stay tuned for 1 quick second.
Awesome.
All right. boom, boom. Okay. And we'll go live like immediately.
Cool. I gotta switch it up over on my end as well.
Yep. All right. Yeah, I'm glad that I was able to actually get to get the sound thing working real quick in the stream. Let's see. We actually do have somebody that joined in over on Video Ninja. You ready to take somebody from over there?
Oh yeah, definitely. Did you restart on TikTok?
Yep. I've restarted.
There
Dr. Joe's here. Yeah.
There it is. Gotcha. All right. Yeah. Sure.
Right.
I'll take the person from TikTok. From TikTok.
Yeah. So we've got Legendary. Hi there, Legendary. Are you there?
Yeah. Hello. You can hear me, right?
Hello. So Legendary, are you over 18 and what are your pronouns?
Yeah. Pronouns.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
I don't know.
I'm not.
If I said he called in over on Video Ninja, would that be correct, or would it be more correct to say she called in?
That's right. Yeah. I don't. Yeah.
He.
Yeah. He. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So Legendary, what's going on? What you want to talk about? Why is your God so horrible?
Oh, no, I just had a question for you guys. I don't think anything after death happens, but I was just curious on what you guys think.
Whether anything after death happens?
Yeah, or do you guys just think that's it, just lights out for forever?
For me, that's what I think happened. Is basically just like lights out. We're done for.
All right, and then I guess that's it. And then I guess one more question: What do you guys think happened with regarding the Big Bang? Do you guys think that how do you guys think the Big Bang happened? Like aside from the nothingness, everything came. How do you think that like, or what was before the Big Bang? As far as no clue.
No clue.
Right.
No, so to I guess give you a bit more of an answer. I don't think that anything that happened prior to the Big Bang really affects what happens after. Like once we're in the expansion of the universe, I don't think that there's anything that necessarily it doesn't exactly play a factor into it, right? So I just don't think that it would actually matter whatever happened before the Big Bang.
Well, no, it's what is, I guess, canon for like science, and the creation of everything. So I was just curious on what you guys thought, or if what you guys had read into, because I'm fairly new. I want to say I deconstructed, but I was ex-Christian for a while, or ex-Christian for a while. I am still. I just say I don't know. I don't really believe anything now. Because I wanted to see what atheists and agnostics had to say about the doubts of Christianity, and really, when I started listening to what you guys had to say, it was completely logical. Everything made sense, even evolution from billions of years ago. So, yeah, I just also just to remark on where I am now as far as religion and God and stuff and Big Bang, etc. But yeah, no, that's it. I didn't really have any questions. I agree with you guys. I think the God of the Bible is horrible. Doesn't make any sense. And just wish you guys have a good live stream and hopefully great conversations.
Yeah, thank you so much there, Legendary. I hope you have a great night. And I guess is the correct term based? Is that what the youngins are saying for that?
Yeah, that's what it is. That's what I was saying. Based, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
all right now.
All right. See you later. He noped out of there. Thank you so much for noping out yourself. Whammy, we'd love to talk to you if you want to come up, but for right now, we've got I Am next, which I think that both I Am and Gosh are friendlies. Maybe would that be accurate?
That would be, yes.
I have a friendly, but I actually have a question. But go ahead, I Am, if you're ready to go.
No, I'm not. Go ahead. I'm not ready just yet. I'm still listening and determining my response. So please feel free.
Okay.
Is that all right? Godless, if I ask a question.
Oh yeah, sure, no problem.
So as an atheist, I don't fear death, but what I fear is non-existence.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Is that something that you guys have thought about, like at any point? Like I don't fear death. It's not going to hurt because once I'm dead, I'm dead.
Mm-hmm.
But as a conscious being right now, I'm concerned about not existing. You guys understand what I'm talking about?
I understand exactly what you're talking about. Because like it was another day where I was basically microdosing, and I was thinking about that. Like, we usually don't think about non-existence as us experiencing that non-existence. We think about how other people would experience our non-existence, and we kind of see it through their eyes, right? But what would it be? What is it like to not exist? That's something that we don't have the framework for because we've always been existing, right? And I do have a fear of FOMO. Like, there's a saying that we were born too late to explore the world, but too early to explore the universe. You know what I mean? So I do have FOMO. I do know in 1,000 years, we probably are going to figure out speed of light. We're going to figure that out. But we're not going to be here in 1,000 years. You know what I mean? So I do have that FOMO of I'll never see us, I think we're going to see, I think in our lifetime, we'll see someone walk on Mars, but I'll probably never see a colony happen. You know what I mean? So yeah, there's that FOMO, and there is that fear of what is it like to not exist? You know what I mean? Is that even a thing that you even can experience? So yeah, I do get where you're coming from, but usually a way for me to solve that existential crisis is that I can't experience non-existence because existence basically requires experience, right? And if I don't exist anymore, then that's non-experience. Like the same thing that happened when I die is the same thing that happened before I was born. I just not around. I don't exist.
Right.
So
the 14 billion years before I was born are going to just be like the 14 billion years after I'm dead, right?
Exactly.
Same thing. So that I get what you're saying. You mentioned not knowing that we're going to walk on the moon or walk on Mars or whatever. George Washington is sleeping fine, not knowing that we ever had cars.
Exactly.
Right. So okay. So that my dog agrees. Sorry about that, guys. He's a little bit of a whiner. Yeah. So that's just it's. I think you said it earlier. An existential thing for me. Like I don't worry about death because it'll come, and that'll be it. I don't worry about where I'm going to go because I don't think I'm going to go anywhere. It's just the non-existence, just the you're here and now. And my dog, stop. You're here, and then you're not. That's the part that troubles me, right? Like it troubles the wrong word, guys. Intrigues me, maybe. It makes me think.
I don't think your dog likes hearing you talk about you dying.
She always does this.
Doc is disturbed by this conversation.
She wants a treat. Oh, that shut her up. So, anyways, yeah, thanks, guys. I appreciate that. Just thought for anybody else that's listening, I guess. Just it's a tough life, but it's the one we got.
Yeah, it is the one we got. And I that's the only thing I really have FOMO about. Like, I would really love to see humanity walk on Titan, but I'm probably not going to be alive. Yeah, I mean, that probably happened in the year 2100, unless technology gets significantly better and we have a huge technological breakthrough by the year 2050. I don't think I'm ever going to see us walk on that.
Here's how that needs to happen. We need to break from religion.
To the year 2100, honestly.
Break from religion.
That would be shocking.
And governments need to stop hiring their good old boys that know nothing about medicine. Anyways.
Exactly. 100% agree.
I got nothing else. Thank you so much. I'll talk to you guys later.
I appreciate you, bro.
Thank you.
Peace.
Bye. I was able to get him. I was able to kick him. Huh?
I think we got someone in the
we sure do.
Yeah.
Video Ninja.
There we go.
Yeah, I know that we were going to get to you. Do you have anything formulated yet to talk about?
Well, I kind of touched on, I kind of feel like I want to touch on what he already said. I mean, what he is actually talking about has been a human concept all throughout human history, evaluating and fearing what we don't know. And the one thing we've gotten good at is knowledge, and we pull in what we can know from our surroundings. But the problem is that we try to extend it beyond our own bubble of understanding. And that's why the Abrahamics makes absolutely no freaking sense, because they so many people fall upon it like it's a sword of righteousness, and it makes no sense to me because there's no way to validate it.
Yeah.
No issue from us. If you don't mind, we are trying to get some ops, and I think that maybe the person on Video Ninja is going to be an op. So, I think that we're going to need to, okay. Okay. So we've got Nothing over there on Video Ninja. Hey there, Nothing. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. How's it going?
All right. Doing pretty good. Nothing. Are you over 18? And what are your pronouns?
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, I'm over 18, of course.
Okay. What are your pronouns?
Pronouns? I thought there was only the ones we know. Is there more in America? I'm a he. My voice isn't it deep enough?
Okay.
There you go.
No.
Just tell us what it is, bro.
Yeah, we just need to know pronouns, like what pronouns you identify with, and you gave us he, him, so we can continue. All right, Nothing. What do you want to talk about today?
So you say, I think that question is kind of misleading. Why is your God so horrible? Which God?
Typically, so it's a Bible that I've got that on. So typically we're talking about the Abrahamic one, right? So...
It's a bit of a stretch, but I can understand where you're coming from, because I know the Bible has been changed, and when men change things, they usually make things horrible.
Okay. Are you religious in any kind of way?
Yes, I am. When I say religious from a logical point of view, I don't follow blind faith, and you have to be able to prove what you are saying in order to believe.
Okay, let's just make this even more clear. Is Jesus your Lord and personal Savior?
He can't be, because he's a human being who was born of a woman who had human needs. If he was, we say that God is not contained by his creation. He's not in need by his creation.
Nothing. I'll just ask you a yes or a no. Like, is
no, of course not.
He's not. Okay, cool. All right, cool. Do you follow the Prophet Muhammad?
I believe he was a prophet. Yes.
You believe prophet? Okay, you believe that Muhammad was a prophet. Is he the last messenger of God?
Yes.
Okay, so you're Muslim.
Yes.
Cool.
Okay.
Great. Now that's what we're working with. Yeah, Allah is horrible too.
Please tell me how you think. How did you come to that conclusion?
Because he chose Muhammad as his prophet, and Muhammad assaulted a little girl.
How did he assault a little girl?
Did he not consummate his marriage with Aisha when she was 9?
I believe so, but how is that abusing a little girl in terms of the historical time? This was the norm throughout history. I mean, if you look at the American history, just do a quick search on American history. This was the norm, and it's based on the biological age.
Yeah, nothing. We understand that this was the norm during that time. It was still horrible because Allah is all-knowing, according to your theology. So if he's all-knowing, he would know that we would view that as disgusting. He would just have to tell Muhammad that, wouldn't
he? It's our time. Every generation has a way of perceiving things. Like, for example, we do certain things now, and maybe in 200 years, 500 years from now, people will look down on us for the things that we do. But for now, it may seem normal. For example, in the US and throughout the world, you would have arrested homosexuals and put them into mental health institute, but you don't do that anymore.
Well, hold on. So it's my understanding. It's my understanding that Islam calls for the LGBTQ crowd to be unalived, like unequivocally. So I don't really think that you have a leg to stand on there.
We jump in the boat. Do we deal with the first part?
We're not jumping any kind of boat. Hold on. I just need to clarify something about your theology. Do you mind if I do that real quick?
Sure. Okay.
Okay. So do you consider Allah to be omnibenevolent? Like, is Allah all good?
Allah is the source of good.
Right. Okay. So source of good. Is Allah all knowing?
Allah is all knowing for him to create us and to sustain the world,
and Allah is omnipotent, right?
Yes.
Okay. So considering all of those things, Allah would know that it's wrong for Muhammad to grape a 9-year-old child, regardless of what time and culture that they were in. That would be a bad thing to do.
That is unjust because we are talking about, see, we are looking from our time in terms of perspective, right? And it is based on your social conditioning. For example, in hot countries, girls do age quicker and they have puberty and, and so on. And so we are using the wrong, measuring stick here.
So nothing. That's what I'm saying. Because I want you to understand what we're trying to say here. We get the entire thing of it being a different time. There was a time where I wasn't considered a person in America. I was considered property. What we're saying is that even though that was normal for the time, that is still wrong. And number two that I would say is that if Allah is all knowing, then Allah will also know that. Also,
I mean, I agree with your your example. I agree. Obviously, that's not what we're saying here. For example, in the Quran, with regards to slavery, it says that freeing a slave is something that Allah rewards a person for.
Of course, So nothing. Hold on. I'm not trying to mix up the examples. I'll just want to clarify this one thing, right?
Yeah, but it's a very bad example in terms of.
Hold on. Listen.
Yeah.
When it comes to things like slavery, right? I actually give that to the Quran. It actually does say to free slaves, unlike the Bible.
Right.
You know what I mean? But when it comes, the example that I was trying to give is that you keep saying that this was a long time ago. That was normal for the time. I get that. What I'm trying to say is that it was also normal for the time for me to be viewed as property. It was still wrong. I get it was normal for the time for old grown men to get with prepubescent children and consummate marriage with them. I get it was normal for that time. What I'm saying is that it is still wrong. And if Allah is all knowing, he would know that, because he would know that children can't consent. He would know that.
Did you say it's not wrong?
I'll tell you the principle.
Did you say that's not wrong? Hold on, nothing. Did you say that's not wrong? Also, thank you for the Bible guy raid, y'all. Appreciate y'all.
Yeah. So I'll clarify myself. It's not wrong in the essence that marriage happening because of the girl being able to give birth, for example. If that society,
are you saying that it, like, as long as a girl can give birth, then it's okay to marry and grape her?
It's not as simple as you are making. So in a society, you have to look at the societal norm. If it's acceptable in that society, like where the family agree, for example,
I love Volcy's face right now.
The girl is mature enough to give birth. Physically fit.
Nothing. This is getting disgusting. No, it is disgusting. It's been disgusting.
Bro.
So this is why.
So nothing. You're saying that in a society, 12-year-old girls, as long as their parents agree with it, can go ahead and marry 30-year-old men and have their babies? Ew, bro.
Let me stop you here. Where do you get your morals?
Oh my God!
Jesus Christ! I get my morals. I get my morals from things like empathy, harm, degrees of harm, and consequences. That's where I get my
Epstein would
morals from.
disagree with
And
you.
we all know.
Epstein would
Hold
disagree
on.
with you.
I get that they will disagree with me, but nothing. Listen, grown men having babies with 11, 12-year-old girls is very harmful to those 11 and 12-year-old girls. So I view that as immoral. Not only that, I have empathy, right? I'm very empathetic that these children who don't know what's going to happen to them are now getting into a relationship with grown. This is gross, bro. Why am I explaining this? You should know. This is gross.
Where do you get your morals?
I already told you. I don't need a God
That's
for
your
it.
own perspective. That's your own perspective.
And
Some
so
people
is yours.
disagree with you.
And so is
Some people
yours.
disagree with you.
And so people disagree with you. We're at the same level.
Do you believe, in nature, for example, you always talk about nature. This.
Hold on, wait,
in
nothing.
nature,
No,
in
wait.
nature-
Hold on, stop. Don't skip past this. Don't skip past this. Don't say,
I
it's my
understand your
perspective.
empathy.
Wait. Don't say, don't just skip past what I said. Because your point was, when I told you where I got my morals from, the only thing that you rebutted with was that people disagree with me. People also disagree with you. Not everybody's a Muslim. So like, what are we talking about there?
But the thing is, I have a universal, objective.
No, you don't.
Law that I follow. I do.
No, you don't.
That's the claim. That's the claim.
So nothing. Hold on.
It's not subjective. It's not how I feel. Even if I.
Hold on. So I just need you real quick to tell me where in you're good, Volcy. Where in your particular religious book would it preclude you from graping a child?
That's a really bad way of putting it, isn't it? You just literally put me in a bad chair.
I put you in a bad chair by asking where in your book does it.
I'm a guest. Respect me.
What? No,
It's fine to rape little girls, you sicko.
But that's
which
listen. Okay, you believe in nature, right? You say you talk about nature and all these things, right? In nature,
nothing. No. You didn't answer my question. No, you didn't answer my question. I need you to answer my question. Slime, if you can, just mute up. We'll get to you here in a second, okay? Now, I need you to answer the question. Can you please cite for me in your book, right? In your book, in whatever religious book, I'm guessing the Quran, where does it say that you should not grape a child?
of course, we know these things because the Quran says that rape is wrong. For example, the Quran says is
wrong.
Where
does it say that?
Adultery. I can give you the verse. Do you want the verse?
Yeah, sure.
Adultery and all that. Okay, I'll give you right now.
No, not adultery. We're talking about child grape, which, I mean, that's what Muhammad did to Aisha when she was 9. That would be child grape because children cannot consent. And your God, being omniscient,
that's an American
would
law.
fucking
You want to
know
take
that.
an American 21st century law to 1,500 years?
No, this is not an American law. This is literally science. This is psychology. This is psychiatry. Children don't understand the consequences of what they're doing.
You know what? For example, in Mexico, in Spain, I think Mexico, the age of marriage is 14, for example.
It does not matter.
In America, you'd be sent to prison.
It does not matter. It does not matter. It does not matter. No, it does not matter.
So all Mexicans should be, I don't know who to do that. Even America, I mean,
Mexicans are marrying 14-year-olds.
In America, if you have a consent,
Nothing.
Right.
The average 30-year-old Mexican is not marrying 14-year-olds, bro.
Nor the current Islamic societies do that. They don't do that because the society has changed.
Even y'all understand that that's gross.
No, it's not about gross. You don't understand. It is about the social condition that we have. There are certain things that we are conditioned, right? Because people are not growing as fast as before. They're living longer life.
No,
even
that's
a
just
20-year-old
wrong.
is like a child now, right?
No, I'm so sorry. This is just wrong. The biological like development of a child has not changed in that amount of time, especially from what was that 600 CE. It has not changed. So no, this is not in any way indicative like of what you're saying. Like none of that. And if you're God, hold on. If Allah is omniscient and he's omnipotent and he's omnibenevolent, if he's omnibenevolent, then he would know, right, that it's that consent is important for one. Children can't give consent, and also children should not be raped. Like those are just basic things.
How do you define children? Let me ask you that. How do you define children?
Oh my God! Really? We're gonna go to define children now?
We have. What do you mean? But for example, in the U.S., a 17-year-old is considered a child. In Mexico, a 14-year-old can get married. Or somewhere in Africa, maybe a 12-year-old will get married and have a family, right? So where do you get your
brain development
definitions and what is wrong?
Brain development. It's like legitimately maturation of the brain. Specifically, we're going to talk about the prefrontal cortex.
I felt like this conversation definitely needed a woman's perspective on this, definitely. So thank you, Ashland.
Yeah, I didn't know if you were taking guests, but that really ticks me off when grown men ask, how do we define children? It makes me think that we should check their hard drives.
It's important, isn't it? Like, because, for example, as I said...
Yeah, but not in the way that you're asking, in the apologetic side. You're not asking whether 50-year-olds should be able to date 20-year-olds. You're asking whether it was okay in my history, in my religion book, if it was like okay to marry like 12-year-olds. This is not the same thing.
Your great-great-grandfather probably did that anyway. So what's your argument?
Yeah,
You're going to shoot down.
And he was wrong. Yeah, he was wrong if he did that.
But
I don't think he did.
This is your perspective of your modern views because you are trained that way and you are programmed that way.
So
we are
nothing.
programmed. Even myself, I wouldn't marry a 10-year-old.
Nothing. Listen, okay,
Right.
First of all, I do want you to listen to Ashlyn because she's trying to educate you on this. But also, again, I want to go back to the fact that if God is omniscient, like he knows everything, then he would definitely know that it's wrong to grape a child, right?
You sound like very religious.
Right,
you sound very religious.
how am I being religious right now?
Because you're saying wrong and right. These things are religious terms.
No, they're not.
So let's say if a society
hold on. Most modern philosophers, contemporary philosophers, are identifying as atheists, and they hold moral claims, especially within the field of ethics, right? So you making this claim doesn't make sense if we look at the literature of philosophy and we survey them, which we have. So you saying that the only way to have this sort of moral realism or even objective claims about moral aspects, normative like oughts. No, that is not true. This is what you've been indoctrinated into. The entire field disagrees with you.
You know, the idea of the, what you are saying basically doesn't fit your point of view of what you have of the world. Because it's about survival. Survival doesn't care about morality. Survival doesn't care about these kind of things. If a lion's hungry, he's going to eat.
That's nothing to do with ethics. That's nothing to do with ethics. I can understand from a naturalistic worldview that evolution plays into the role of our understanding of like what we ought to do, but it doesn't mean that we haven't progressed beyond just like our like brains and how they think. We've developed. We've learned from the harms that we've done in the past and grown from them because we write things down, we communicate to each other, we've developed language. It fits well within the worldview, actually.
So I got a question for you guys. So look, I was wondering. So like, what if you guys knew that religion wasn't really centered on like a book telling you right or wrong, and like the true religion was centered on directly speaking with God, and God just actually like telling you what you're supposed to do.
So slime, I appreciate. I know that you've been up here, and I've let friends up here to sort of handle the nothing situation. But I would, to respond to you directly, I would say that you're just making up your own God, and I think that that's just more indicative of your own personal moral foundation, what you personally think is right or wrong, and all that kind of stuff, and is not really all that indicative of anything like actual God centered. Volcy, hold on, slime, hold on 1 second. Hold on. There are two hosts here, right? Me and Volcy. I want to hear what Volcy has to say about that particular topic. Like, do you remember what Slime proposed?
You responded. So I would like to finish.
So Slime, there are two hosts here. So when it comes to your question, Slime, what I would say is that's basically just hearsay. Yeah, I mean, simply saying that you're getting directions, or you're getting what to do or what's right or wrong directly from a God. How would any of us even verify that? Because I can simply say that I know that I'm supposed to be. I can simply say that I know that I'm supposed to be the king of America because the pink unicorn is telling me so. Does that make it true? Just because I say, does it make it true? Doesn't make it true. Doesn't make it true.
No,
just because I claim that.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't at all. Man created the Bible for profit. Man created the Bible for profit. We don't want to hear none of that. So look,
I kind of agree with him on that. Maybe edited.
Now look. Now, let me tell you this. Now,
can you me back up on the TikTok, please?
What if we just move back?
Sorry.
What if we just moved on from like the Bible being okay, this and that, and like somebody just what if everybody just threw that out of your mind, and someone just said, like, everybody just said, okay, we don't care about that, or that was taken away from you, and everybody just said like, oh yeah, we don't care, that held no weight or no value. People would be insane, because why is everyone chasing something to have faith in? Why is that so important? Like, why is it so important? Like, what will people do? Because I feel like if there was no Bible or no God, or there was no God for you to even speak of, what would you even do? Like how do you
survive? What are you talking about?
Right. Yeah. That argument makes literally no sense. Slime. Hold on. I'm trying to corral this. Okay.
How would you survive?
God damn it, Slime! I've muted you, and because I want to finish out our conversation with nothing. You kind of butted in there. We were trying to go through this systematically, okay? And Ashland, you're fine. I saw your comment in the chat there. You're totally fine there, Ashland. Now, one thing that nothing did not touch on was where in the Quran does it say don't fuck children? Ims is up here. Ims, I would really love to hear your perspective on what nothing is about.
With fucking children, bro.
Okay. Can I get back, because I think you've
Nothing. Just a second, please.
Yeah.
What sector?
Sorry, I hung up on him. You go ahead.
His face, bro.
Nothing. What sector?
Slime, you gotta control yourself, man. Relax, bro.
I dropped him. Anyways.
What sector are you?
Oh, I guess Ems, are you wanting to interact? Nothing did request back, so
yeah.
Nothing. You have a limited leash right now, just because Ems is here and Ems is wanting to interact with you. So I'm gonna let Ems sort of deal with you real quick.
Nothing. What sector are you?
Did he leave?
Oh yeah, he just noped out. I guess he was scared of somebody that knew his bullshit.
Yeah, he was.
So, could you tell me what his argument was? Like, did he say that it doesn't say that?
Well, yeah. Well, basically, he was pivoting away from the fact that there's nowhere in the Quran that says don't fuck kids. And I'd asked him point blank, like, where is it in your holy book? And kept making this sort of relativistic argument that, like, well, in that particular culture, it was okay to fuck kids. And so you can't really judge it. And I'm like, for an omniscient God, that doesn't really matter. And they weren't engaging in the conversation.
Are you familiar with the connection between 65:4 and 33:49.
I'm very not up on the counter-apologetics for Islam.
No worries. So what I was going to bring up to him, which I think you should just like have it on a tab, like on the side, it's 65:4 tells you that the prepubescents have a waiting period. And then 33:49 says that there is no waiting period unless you've consummated the marriage.
Okay.
So it is telling you that the girls that are prepubescent in 65:4 do have a waiting period, meaning that they've been consummated with. If you go to the scholars like Tabari, he says that this is in reference to a prepubescent girl who's been divorced by her husband after he has penetrated her. And if you go to Quran X commentaries, just the website, Quran X, and then 65:4 commentaries, you'll find an English version of a hadith of the Prophet explaining that this verse is in reference to those who do not menstruate because they're too young.
Interesting. Okay, I'm definitely going to keep that in my back pocket. This is on YouTube, so I'll definitely have to come back through and check it out again. Okay.
Oh yeah, definitely. Because I want to learn a lot more about it as well, and I know Ems is great when it comes to that.
Yeah, thank you. Just send me an invite if you need me again. Have a good rest of your stream.
No, yeah, thank you, Ems.
This is amazing, by the way.
Oh yeah, you like it?
I just wanted to say hi, Volcy.
Godless Engineer and Volcy.
Oh, sorry.
Of course I have to. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
I was told to follow you by Jay Gilmore, but then I realized I do recognize you. Someone actually requested a raid the other day, and then I didn't realize that I knew who you were. And it's nice to finally meet you. You're
nice to
awesome.
meet you too.
I appreciate
Thank you so much.
Godless, do you want me to drop down, or do you want a woman's perspective? Because I can hang out if you want, unless you just want to do.
I mean, I'm Volcy, are you okay if she hangs out down there?
Oh yeah,
I'll be
I'm
quiet
definitely, because
until we
got
talk
women's
about.
I'm
talk
cool to hang
about
up.
women's stuff, and I'll thank you.
Okay.
I'll be pretty quiet though.
All right. We do have another person over there on Video Ninja, but I did want to read off. I don't know if you've got any super chats there, Volcy, but I figured we'd do a super chat break real quick. Do you have any to read off? I was gonna let you go first.
No, someone sent me $1. Didn't write any comments, but I do still appreciate it. Thank you for the $1 super chat. Jamie, there you go. Jamie, non-official. Appreciate the super chat. For $1. I appreciate that. Go ahead, guys.
Yeah, we got collapsitilism. Caller is a loser. Move on. We groan. Yeah, I totally agree about that. They also said, "Gee, advice for you: call it a PDF and move on." Actually, embarrassing. You engage with slime. Absolutely disgusting, and it's a loser. Well, so slime wasn't the one that was a PDF. It was nothing that was a PDF, and they were definitely doing the PDF stuff there. Whereas Waldo says rules aren't morality, acting on empathy is.
Exactly.
Yeah. Thank you so much for that. Just double checking all that. I've got a whole bunch of gifts from people, and I really appreciate all the gifts that I'm seeing come through. Casey says also go to rocketcityreason.com to check out the upcoming conference featuring GE and Volcy. Yep. Thank you so much there, hon. She keeps reminding me about promoting the event. Buy tickets. That's right. Okay, so we do have Cody over there on Video Ninja. What's up, Cody? Are you over 18? And what are your pronouns?
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, we got you. Well, are you over 18? And what are your pronouns?
What?
What are your pronouns?
Just he, him, I guess.
Yep, gotcha. Those are pronouns. So what would you like to discuss there, Cody?
Well, I thought this was y'all's channel and y'all had a pre-discussed topic already selected.
Yeah, you came up. So, we think that the God of the Bible is a pretty terrible being. What do you say?
You said the God of the Bible?
Yes.
Okay, I don't follow the Bible.
Follow the Quran?
Yeah.
Yeah, that God's bad, pretty terrible too.
You said that God's what? Sorry, it's hard to hear you.
That God is also pretty terrible.
Okay. Well, okay. Here, I'll just do this instead of waiting for you to make a claim, or not a claim, but like
we've already made a claim.
I thought you were just going to say more, like explain how or something like that. But for one, you're saying like it's pretty horrible. That sounds pretty subjective, like, or at least vague at the very least, even if you don't grant that it's subjective. So, what do you mean by horrible? And like, how do you define right and wrong?
Okay, so I would define right wrong through if you're talking about like more
I'm talking about a working definition. Right? You can be very
hold on. We're talking about in the basis of morals. Is that right?
Yes.
All right. So
like
right
good and
wrong,
bad. Sorry, not right and wrong.
All right. So good and bad when it comes to morals, I would define it through the consequences. Yeah, I mean, and through certain goals that I would like to meet, or at least we would like to meet socially as a society. What are the consequences and what are the goals of what we're trying to reach? If things fail at the goal or have negative consequences, then we would view those things as bad. And if they move towards a more pro-social, pro-positive, and positive consequence, then we would generally define that as good. Those are the general things that we do. And I would say that just about every system works that way, including yours.
Yeah, I don't actually think that makes, like, I don't think that answers the question, because at least how I heard it, maybe I misunderstood. Okay. But from what I heard,
so the way that we typically define morals, good versus bad when it comes to morals, right? We have a certain goal in place. Usually they're pro-social goals, and if an action moves towards that goal, we view it as good, and if it moves away from that goal, we view it as bad. That's the general overall view. We compare it to society and consequences.
Okay, so you're saying pro-social. What does that mean?
Mm-hmm.
I've never heard that term before. Pro-social. What does that mean?
You never heard of pro-social before?
No, I've never heard it before. You can call me stupid, insult me if you want. I've just never heard anybody actually say that in real conversation.
Okay, it's pro-social mean things that are good for society, things that bring society together, things that don't cause
helping, sharing,
okay,
comforting.
So I was asking what was good and bad, and then you said what's good is good, basically.
No, you said how I defined it.
And you said what's good is what the society says is good. That doesn't explain what's good. See what I mean?
That's not what I said.
Okay, my bad. Then when you said pro-social, and then I asked you, okay, I don't understand pro-social, you said it's what the society sees is good.
No.
Okay, then can you explain it again? That's what I heard, at least.
All right. Pro-social is basically actions, policies, et cetera, that lead to a society that has less negative consequences, less negativity, and more basically harmony and togetherness within that society. That's what we typically view as pro-social.
Can I jump in and ask?
You're using words like negativity and harmony. Well, the harmony is not really a problem, but the negativity thing, is that not just a synonym for like wrong? And how is that not? I feel like saying negative.
Negative is not a synonym for wrong.
Okay, I'm talking about the working definition, like the way people use like negativity, especially in this context, it's as a synonym for wrong. So it sounds like you're just saying the same thing.
No, I'm not.
Okay, what do you mean by negative then? I'm genuinely trying to understand this. Like when you say negative, you don't mean just wrong. You don't mean like morally objectifiable, because you're not talking about in like mathematics.
If I can jump in here real quick, we essentially, the way that I view it is that we have a goal, right? In order to come to moral conclusions, we have to agree on a goal, and then we have different methodologies for attaining that goal. So the negative part would be anything that drives us away from the goal. My guess is, and tell me if we're sharing a common goal here, we want what's best for humanity. Would you agree to that goal?
I disagree.
Mark, we're going in order, and right now you would be next in line. Okay. Do you mind waiting?
Yeah, I don't mind.
Okay, thank you. So, Cody, so do we agree on the shared goal of we want what's best for humanity?
So can you repeat the definition? Sorry, I got distracted after the person, after you addressed the other person.
Okay, I'm saying that in order for us to come to moral conclusions, we need to first agree on a shared goal so that we can then come to moral conclusions and compare those moral conclusions, right? So I'm suggesting that our shared common goal here would be what's best for humanity.
Okay, I don't know if I accept the premises. You're saying in order for us to
you don't
have
think
moral conclusions,
you don't
we need to.
well, no. So you can't agree that we're both working for what's best for humanity?
That's not the premise. That's the claim. That's like, or that's the question leading to the claim.
It's not a claim. It's a goal.
Okay.
I'm asking you a question about if we share that goal.
Well, the thing that you just said before the question, like the context behind this question, I don't agree with. So the question is irrelevant until I can at least understand.
You don't agree. Hold on. So you don't agree that we first need a goal in order to come to like a conclusion of some kind as to whether or not. Yeah, Ashlyn, go ahead. Ask your question. Sorry, I'm not getting through.
Yeah, no, I think pro-social is actually a really good word for this, especially like in psychology, we're talking about like norms and behaviors that basically lead to actions that benefit ourselves. And that's what's being said is you don't want bad things happening to you, therefore you have to grant it to other individuals. And the goal in itself is kind of like, think of the golden rule here. Do unto others. I think the golden rule is missing the mark, but it's kind of a good example of
Almost
this.
quoted Jesus there.
No, I didn't. Not at all. He followed the Torah. But you don't want you don't want bad things. You don't want bad. I know I have a high pitched voice and it's like within your religion that I'm like lesser value, but please stop. You don't want bad things happening to you. It's good for all of us to engage in actions like empathy, social norms, in all of these types of unselfish behaviors. Now, I'm not saying all unselfish behaviors, but it's unselfish behaviors in which benefit the group and therefore benefit ourselves. So it's kind of setting up this universal aspect that it's good for all of us. Therefore, it's this goal that we should have in mind when we talk about the goodness and the badness of actions.
Okay. I have ADHD and I can only address like one or two points at a time. So could we maybe take it step by step? Like for instance, the first part where you were talking about, I think that's the only thing I remember, where you were talking about, you were kind of defining how you see good and bad. And you were talking about as like a harm principle, right? Like that we wouldn't want to be harmed. So therefore, we should apply the same thing to other people, that we shouldn't harm them. Can we just start there? Because the rest of it, to be honest, my brain just kind of went somewhere else.
Yeah, you're just kind of missing the whole point if you're not also including Godless Engineers and Volcy's understanding into it.
I was just asking if you could have like pauses where like you make a point and then like maybe confirm it, so that way I understand it, and then go on.
Let's try this way. Let's try this way. Cody, what are you not understanding about what my point is? What are you not understanding?
Okay, so when you're saying things that entail like good and bad, right? Like for instance, you're in the question, it's something that implies good and bad because you're saying, why is your God so horrible, right?
Yes. Okay. So like, so we kind of already. Let me explain. Like, let me just try to wrap this all up, right? The way that we the way that we form what a moral framework is, at least when it comes to human beings in our society, the way that we inform what a moral framework is that we have certain goals that we want to meet. All right. And the goals that we want to meet are pro-social goals. What pro-social means is that what's the best way to behave that all of us get along, that all of us thrive in the society that we live in. That's what that's typically how we that's typically how we form moral frameworks, pro-social goals.
So
things that go against that goal, like human well-being, etc., stuff like that. Things that go against that are things that we view as bad, and things that go towards that goal, like advance that goal, are what we view as good. As a general overall view, that's what we mean.
Okay, so you're saying a socially established goal that basically we have to have a socially established goal, and anything that leads us closer to that goal is good. What you would define as good. Anything that leads us further away from that is bad.
Yeah, overall. Now, that's just an overall view. Of course, it's going to be like exceptions and things that we have to talk about, parse out. You know what I mean? It's more complicated, but generally, overall, yes, that's what it means. And that's not only for us as non-believers. That goes for people who are in religion as well.
Well, you mean you want to assert it to people in religion, not that they take that, right?
No, it is because if you look at a lot of religious like morals, everything like that, especially when it comes to like LGBTQ people, when you say usually the excuse is that, you know, it says so in my holy book. But if you ask them outside the holy book, why is it bad? They'll go directly to how it affects society. So even for religious people, it's a social thing.
Well, I don't think every religion accepts that definition of right and wrong that you were saying is what I meant. That you're basically saying that this should apply to everyone because it is the way that it should be.
No. I'm not saying that they should accept it. I'm saying that they also operate in that framework. They just don't realize it.
So I disagree because the framework that you said, at least the general one, because that's the only one I have, said that first you establish a goal. I agree with that. Yeah, we should definitely have a goal. And in religion, each religion in and of itself, no matter which one it is, has a goal. And then you said the society, right, determines what is good and bad based off of if the goal gets us closer, if whatever it is gets us closer to that goal or further away.
Right.
And so, in religion, in some religions, it's not about if something is good for you, then you do it, right? Because, for instance, in some religions, like some place in the Bible, it mentions that something is bad for you, and yet still instructs you to do it.
Well, so hold on. Let me cut this off at the pass because I feel like you're missing the whole point of the shared end goal. What I'm proposing is that we have a certain methodology for determining what is good and bad for achieving that goal. You have one, and my assumption is that you would think that whatever God wants for humanity is what's best for humanity. Would that be accurate?
I do think that. I do think that because God is merciful, that
except to 9-year-old girls.
What's good.
Okay, so Cody, like you just kind of approve my point. You're in the same framework of what will be good for society.
No, I don't think. So what I said was that God wants what's good.
God wants what's good and what's best for society.
I didn't say best for society.
So God wants what's good.
You're including that.
So okay. So what? So actually, GE actually just asks you. You think what's good is what God wants for humans?
No, you didn't ask me. You didn't ask, or at least I don't remember you asking me what my definition.
Gee, is that not what you just said?
You didn't ask me what my definition was. You asked me if I agreed with what he asserted in the question.
Right. He asserted in the question that what is good is what God wants for humanity.
Yeah, but that's not my complete definition of what is good and bad. I agree that God wants what's good, but that's including the thing that you're trying to define, good. So I don't agree with your definition. Basically, sorry, I'll say it slower, simpler. Basically, I don't agree with your definition of good and bad, but I agree that what I think, by my definition of good and bad, I think God wants that. Does that make sense?
What's your definition?
Well, it's to be honest, it's irrelevant in the question because you said you're relevant. The one making the question or posing the question, saying that you think it's horrible.
I understand that you hold on, wait, listen. I understand that you disagree with me, right? But for me, for us to have this conversation, I need to know how exactly are you framing these things.
Well, I was going to take your definition. That's why I asked you for it. Like, for instance,
Cody, listen, stop, bro. For me to understand your points, I need to understand what framework you're working with. So I need your definition too.
Yes, I was trying to tell you what framework.
Okay, so what do you? What is your framework for good and bad?
Yes,
what do you do?
The framework I'm working with is your definition of good and bad, since you're the one that's making the
But
claim.
you already said you disagreed with it. You already said you disagreed with it.
Okay. Can I explain it fully so you don't like
No.
without interrupting me?
Cody,
it won't be long. I won't rant.
Cody. I don't give a shit about that. What is your how do you form good and bad? Because I already gave you what we want and went through 20 minutes of this. You already said
I'm not asking what you want anymore.
Stop. You already said that you disagree with it, so you can't use my framework. You disagree with it. So what is your framework for good and bad?
Okay, so when you say that
it's not about me, bro. It's not about me. How do you? I'm gonna keep interrupting you until you.
I've been interrupting you guys. I've been patient, respectful.
Because I got you, Cody. I don't care about that. What I care about right now, okay, I understand that you've been patient and respectful. I got you. But when I ask you a question, hold on, stop. Because you're not actually answering the question. I'm asking about your framework for good and bad. Don't ask me, when you say this. I'm asking for you. How do you determine good and bad? Because I'm going to read it again. The way I determine it is the goal of human well-being. All right, that's that's my ultimate goal, and it goes off of degrees of harm, equality, and pure human empathy, and the consequences of the actions. That's my framework. You disagree with that. That's fine. So I'm asking you, what is yours, so we can move on with this. What is yours? It's not about me now. How do you decide it?
Okay, how do you know I wasn't going to answer it when I said 2 words?
Because you brought me up. Don't bring me up. I'm asking about you.
Okay. How do you know where I was going?
It's not a part of it. It's not a part of it. It's not a part of it. It's not a part of it because we don't know each other.
You don't know what I was going to say.
It's not a part of it because we don't know each other. We're not connected at the hip. We're not the same person. So stop. Cody.
What I have to say, and you'll see that I'm going to answer your question.
I'm going to be patient and hear what I say, but don't bring me up. What? It's not about me, bro.
Part of my answer.
No, it's not. Because we're not the same person.
If you're asking me what I see as good and bad.
Cody, are we the same person?
No, but if we share parts of the same belief, then I can address that in my answer.
Your framework about good and bad has nothing to do with me. I want to know what your definition is. Don't bring me up because at that point you're not answering the question.
I heard you ask that.
Okay,
so I agree. Please be reasonable. At least
go ahead. I'm being reasonable, but don't bring nobody else up. Just what is your framework for good and bad?
This is what I'm saying about being reasonable. If my definition includes part of what you believe, and I state that we share the same belief, and so I'm bringing you up, that's still me answering the question fully. I'm just including the point that we agree on a point.
Then you'll say that you agree with me.
What?
You just say that you agree with me. Then you'll say that you agree with me.
Yes, no.
All right.
How do you frame? I just said. Just now. I just said on some point.
I got you. What is your framework of good and bad? Go ahead.
Okay, my framework of what's good. Well, first of all, I think that good and bad are objective. Okay, that we can come to it from an objective point of view. So whether or not it's not based off of our feelings. And I also
do you know
believe
what
that the
objective
creator,
means?
or that good and bad. Sorry, I'm trying to gather my thoughts before I speak, so I don't misspeak. That's why I'm pausing.
Hold on. So you brought up objective. I'm wondering, can you define what objective?
I just got I promise you, I just figured out what I was going to say. Sorry. Okay. Okay. Now my brain just shut off. Good. I'm trying to talk to that. Sorry. Say what you have to say because whenever you said that, my brain just dumped it.
Okay. So you said objective. Right, we could be there are objective moral things, right? What I'm wondering if you know what objective actually is.
Okay, so at least as I understand objective, or as I understand objective is like outside of opinion, not relevant to right.
So
a person's
would you say
thoughts or a person's opinions or ideas?
It's not mind dependent, basically.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
It's not mind dependent. If you're basing your morality on God, then it is mind dependent.
Oh, what do you mean? It's mind dependent. Now we're going into
God a mind? Does God have a mind? Is God a being? Does God have a mind?
Okay, that's why I said we're going into semantics and syntax. Then we'll go back and forth about what exactly do you define as a mind, and then we're going into philosophy.
Not really, Cody. We just ask you if does God have a mind.
Okay, if you mean a mind like humans, then no.
Okay, he doesn't have a mind like humans, but he has a mind.
Okay, that's why I'm asking. That's why I said we would have to go into what's a mind, and that's irrelevant. Like, for instance,
does God think?
If you say will, that's different. I can agree with that. I can say God has a will.
So God,
but a mind, there's different definitions of, like, there's a disagreement on what a mind is.
Does God have opinions?
Opinions?
Yeah, does God have opinions?
I wouldn't call it opinions.
All right, so what does he have? He won't be thinking about shit. Like I'm very confused here, bro.
Okay, can I just address the actual point? Can we go back to the main point that we're talking about? I feel like we kind of went outside topic. I was just
all right, cool. So
what my definition of good and bad is, right?
All right, cool. So you do you remember mine?
Yes, I do.
Okay, cool. So what is yours?
Okay. I derive good and bad based off of what is going on in my brain?
Okay, Cody, I get that maybe you're a bit overwhelmed right now, and I can understand that. I get overwhelmed too. I'm planning on trying to do this regularly. Would you mind like collecting your thoughts on morality and maybe coming back? Because we are brushing up against 3 hours, and I'm not one to take up Volcy's entire Saturday night.
Yeah, and Cody, I go from Thursday through Saturday, so you can definitely come on by. I even have a call-in number, of like a phone number that you can call in. So go ahead and just follow me on YouTube, and you can go ahead and come next time that I'm doing these things. All right, so like don't worry. I know what it's like to kind of be overwhelmed. I used to be in the military.
To be fair, it's not. Yeah, to be fair, it wasn't that I was overwhelmed. Like I said, I have ADHD. So when I'm on a topic and I'm trying to state an idea that's in my head, if somebody interrupts or like changes the topic, it's hard for me to remember it again.
I got you. You gotta forget about it. No, I got you. So we're all brushing up about 3 hours. So the question was your framework on morality. If you want to go ahead and take a lap, like take a few minutes and come back at the end, then that's fine too. If G allows it, that'll be cool.
Yeah.
Yep. Sounds good.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, go and take a few minutes and come on back. All right.
Okay.
All right. Appreciate you.
All right.
Nothing is back, but we're gonna move on to Mark, right?
Yeah. Mark's gonna be our last guy unless Cody comes back. Mark, thank you so much for being up here for as long as you have. Are you over 18, and what are your pronouns?
I am over 18, and I don't do the pronoun stuff.
Well, you did the pronouns by saying I don't do the pronouns. What if I said he came up into the live? Would that be correct, or would it be more correct to say she did?
My pronouns are the appropriate for a man.
That doesn't tell me anything. Or would it be they came up into my live, or would it be something else?
They are multiple people. I'm obviously not multiple people, so
no. There's a singular use of they. Can we just like move past the kindergarten level of shit here and just give me your pronouns?
Sure.
Like,
I won't answer you, and we can move on to the debate or the topic.
No. Mark, if you don't answer, I'm dropping you.
Mark, just give us the pronouns, bro. This is not a big deal, bro. Why do y'all do this?
Talk to you. No.
Hold on, Mark.
Mark,
Mark, chill out, bro. Just listen to what I'm saying for you. Hold on, just listen to what I'm saying to you real quick. Why do y'all make this such a big deal?
Why do you keep repeating yourself?
My God, bro, you just interrupted me. So that means you're not listening. So why do y'all make such a big deal out of? Don't interrupt again.
Why do you make a big deal out of it?
Shut up, be quiet. Shut up real quick. Why do y'all make such a big deal out of this? Just tell us he, him. Just say it.
No, I'm not gonna say it. Why do you want me to say it? Well,
y'all such bitches, bro. Like for real, y'all bitches, bro. Jesus Christ! All right, we're gonna call Mark it from now on. All right, so it is up here. Oh, he left. Oh, you dropped him.
Well, I dropped him. I'm not willing to do that. Dang, why is everybody deciding to request up now? Did somebody stop going live or something? Yeah, let's see over here. We got nothing back, but I'm going to hang up and I'm going to block nothing for 4 hours. He is a PDF. I think we're going to try to do one more for tonight. One more real quick one. And I'm going to bring up King Exodom. Let's see.
What's up, the king?
Hi there, King. King, are you there?
That was an accident. My bad.
Oh, that's okay. All right, we'll go to our next guy, Bob. We'll see if we can get one more person. Oh, he was? Yeah, Bob was removed from the chat, and he also can't come up, apparently. All right, well, here's a round 2 for King of Knives. Hi there, King of Knives.
How's it going,
Welcome
man?
back.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
round 2 means he's been here before, huh?
Yes.
Okay.
He was here yesterday. It was rather interesting. King of Knives. You wanted to come back and get cooked again. So what would you like to get cooked on tonight?
Well, I didn't get cooked for starters.
Yeah, you did.
But
I remember you did.
You just had to move on. We didn't even get to the heart of it, the issue. But
Yeah, I think
anyway.
the calendar argument and then saying that Israel has been established as a country for more than 1,000 years.
And that's false?
Yeah, both carry your
Oh, so
vastly
what
explains
about
to
King
you.
David and King Solomon and their empire? And what about the 12 tribes of Israel before that?
None of that matters.
What about them? They existed. They're saying they didn't even exist. This is false.
So? All right, so like King.
Oh,
all right, so
is that the best you got?
So King, chill out. Listen. All right, so yeah, King David, King Solomon. According to some archaeological records, yeah, they could have been some real people. Now, the stories in the Bible, are those 100% true? Probably not. They probably got legendized.
Well, miracles you can't really prove.
Hold on, King. Let me finish, please. All right, so the stories of them in the Bible, are those actually true? There's no way to actually show that, right? But according to archaeology, yes, there was a David, likely a Solomon, likely an Absalom, and hundreds of other kings afterwards. So what?
That the lineage of the Bible continued through all those men, and their God helped them through the times.
How do you actually prove that the lineage has survived all the way through the Bible? Because there's really no record of that happening. And number 2, how do you actually show that their God existed or does exist?
We can actually trace back history to around 3000 BC accurately. So to say that something within 1500s to about 500 BC is out of the question is false, because we know that ancient Egyptian kings.
Question, my guy. I didn't say anything is out the question.
No, but
I asked you, how do you actually?
They likely existed.
What I asked you, what I said is what I said. I didn't say they didn't exist. That's not what I said. That means that you're not listening.
You said, dude, they're likely to exist. So you're not even for certain.
I didn't say they did not likely to exist. I didn't say that.
Yes, you
I said
did.
that they did. I said they did likely exist because we have archaeological records of them. So yeah, they likely existed.
Didn't or did?
That's number 1. Hold on, let me finish. So that's number 1. Yeah, David more than likely existed. But
okay.
your claim is, when I said so what, your answer was that it shows that their God helped them through it and their lineage survived. So my question is, how do we actually show that their lineage survived, because we don't have much record of that? And number 2, how do you show that their God existed?
Perfect. If we look at the roots of what Israel became later, they were Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and then they went into bondage for 400 years, and then Moses freed the slaves in Egypt. Then Joshua led them over, got the promised land back, and that's why a lot of people say, why is your God so horrible, right? Because he commanded a lot of things bad back in the day. Well, you have to understand that those people they're worshiping paganistic stuff, and they're doing sacrifices, like animal and human. So they were doing ungodly things. So to say that God wiped them out for nothing is not accurate. So
while
David
Solomon may have existed.
No, but the lineage, that's what the foundation of where David came from.
While David and Solomon may have existed, Moses, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob definitely did not.
Yeah, they never really existed on other paper, but the Bible is a source text. But
Right, so
it says otherwise because Israel was established. See, that's what you guys can't understand.
Let me actually respond to what you said before. All right, so when it comes to someone like Moses freeing the slaves in Egypt, number 1, Moses likely did not exist, according to Jewish scholarship. I'm pretty sure Bible guy knows more about this than I do, but he'll be able to let you know that
makes
Moses
no sense. How could Jewish say Moses not exist?
Let me finish. Moses most likely did not exist as a real person, but the one that's in the Bible definitely did not exist. All right, so that version didn't exist because the Hebrews were not slaves in large numbers in Egypt as described in the Bible either. That's not a historical record. So this entire thing, what we see in the Exodus, is a foundation myth. It's a whole foundation myth. Now, was Joshua a real guy? He was probably like a legendary figure like King Arthur. King Arthur was like 12 people amalgamated into one. Joshua was likely the same thing. Probably like 10, 15 warrior kings or warlords
King Arthur
amalgamated into one,
King
and that's Joshua. You know what I mean? That's probably what happened.
Yeah, King Arthur is a fictional character or a real character?
Arthur's a fictional person. King Arthur's not real.
Okay.
It's
I
like these 12
understand that.
people
I
got
understand that,
amalgamated.
but Joshua was real. To say he was a bunch of people is inaccurate
Abraham
because
was
you're
definitely
comparing to and like someone who didn't even exist. So again, this is the catch. Okay, this is the catch. This is where it all makes sense. How did Israel become
did you understand
a nation?
what I said?
Oh, that's
Now, did you understand what I said,
I
bro?
did, because you're not. Yeah, I did understand what you're saying. I do, but I'm asking you, how did Israel become a nation from the roots?
They came out of the Canaanites. They were just another group of Canaanites. That's what all the data seems to suggest. When we do comparative analysis of DNA, we see that there's a strong connection between the Jewish people and the Canaanites. They worship the same chief deity.
Okay.
They had this. They use even the language that the Israelites use, Hebrew, is a Canaanite dialect.
Yeah, but when they came out of Egypt, did they not basically wipe out the other nations?
They didn't come out of Egypt.
Yeah, but why do you give the Bible so much flack? Because you said God commanded all this bad things to happen.
Because the data,
when it didn't even exist.
The data seems to support that the Israelites were just another group of highland Canaanites.
But they conquered their land back.
The Exodus story most likely comes about from a long time period of. At one point, the Canaanites were ruled over by the Egyptians in the land of Canaan, and probably most likely than not, the Israelites just had like a cultural memory of that time period, and then over the generations, it just gets mythologized until you get to the elaborate Exodus myth.
I'm talking after Exodus, when the people actually wiped out the people who were there and then established their own land.
The Canaanites made war with each other all the time.
Exactly.
There were lots of different Canaanite tribes, including the Israelites, and they always made war with each other. By the way, the Israelites were also guilty of offering up sacrifices to Yahweh of kids.
Yeah, exactly. Now hold on. So let's get this back on track a little bit, because it's, why is your God so horrible? So how does any of this track to your God being horrible? He commands the Israelites to rape women. He sex traffics children like Epstein did. He murders little babies by having the Israelites stab them in the face. Those are several different ways in which your God is pretty horrible there, King of Knives. Considering that you are the King of Knives, I figured you'd be a bit offended by his use of knives in the faces of babies. So what say you about that?
I already told you, those people were doing the worst of the worst, and they had to. I guess God chose to wipe it as a whole, right? I'm not God. I can't say why he did that or why didn't he do that. But that's what we see. We see in history, there was a tribe of Israel who actually went out and wiped out the people, right? And then established their own land. Just by historicity.
Is it sometimes good to rape women?
Of course not.
Okay.
It doesn't say that. It doesn't say that. You're just making it up.
I'm not making it up.
The other one is real, but that one's fake.
We're not. Hey, so Knives, let me give you a hold on, Knives, chill. Let me give you a scenario, right?
Chill.
And I'm gonna ask. Hold on. Let me give you a scenario, and I'm gonna ask you if I'd rape that woman or not. Let's say the United States and Mexico go to war. I then go to Mexico.
Can you show the Bible verse?
Hold on. Let me just finish what I'm saying. Let me finish what I'm saying, Knives. Let me just finish what I'm saying. Let's say I go to the United States and Mexico are at war. I'm a soldier for the United States. I go to Mexico City. I see Maria Consuela Rodriguez. I think, that's a really hot Latina with a huge booty. I'm going to bring her home with me. I then kill her parents, bring her to my house. I cut her nails off. I let her cry for a month. And after that, I'd be like, well, you're my wife now, so let's have sex. And I have sex with her. Did I grape that woman?
Technically.
Yeah.
But you know that you're describing.
Wait, Deuteronomy 21:14.
You're describing spoils of war. That's what
Yeah,
the
I
spoils
am
of war.
describing
Everyone did
spoils
that.
of war.
Everybody
I
did
know
that
they
back
all
when they
did
did
that.
conquering.
I know they all did that, and that was rape, wasn't it?
Yeah, by definition.
Yeah,
Well,
exactly.
just by
So
definition.
That's
but
what
the
your
thing
that's
is,
what your
if
God
doesn't
commanded
exist-
before.
well, sure, but if God doesn't exist, then it doesn't matter because it's all a story. But if he does exist, then there's something to
Then he's
consider
horrible.
there. Like why it happened?
Yeah, that's our
But
point.
Is he real or
That's our
not?
point.
Is
Your
he
God is
horrible?
Wait,
horrible.
wait.
That's our
I'm
point.
a woman here. What the fuck are we considering about this? I want to know. Like, and these weren't even like, this wasn't even like women. These are probably like children in actuality. Like, what do I have to consider? Like, should I just submit? Like, is that what you're telling me? Like, sometimes
it was
God's
basically an Old Testament story of the Israelites, how they got their land back. That's all it was.
Well, no.
But if you actually read the
So
rest of
it's
the
an Old
Bible,
Testament. Hold on. It's an Old Testament story about God commanding something. So it's your God commanding something.
okay, and he also
By the
commanded.
way-
he also commanded Jesus to come down and help people too.
Right
So,
after this, God
you gotta
also
get the whole
says to
story.
stone like little kids because they're drunkards. Like, that's the story right after this. And these are all God's.
Verse, please.
Yeah, it's Deuteronomy 21. I think it's 15. I think it starts at 15. There may be a story in between that. It's the rebellious children. Because they're misbehaving, so they're drunkards. Like, that is the story right after that. Like,
The Deuteronomy 21:15.
I think it might be a little further down. It's in 21. But like, this is 21, and then you get into 22, right? And 22, when we start like at like 25 and 28, it's like telling you sometimes rape's okay in another way. So like, this is all God, by the way, saying this. Not only this, then we go back to Exodus 20. We can look at verse 17, where women are property. Then we can go back and look at how women are betrothed. And so it's not just like this one verse. This has to do with like all of God's law and how women's consent isn't valued. How in times of war, women are considered property. Hold on, Dalton, GE, or Volcy, can you bring up the one about how? Oh my God, now I'm having trouble recalling it. How in times of my brain. How in times of is it Samuel? I'm trying to remember. Anyways, that's beside the point. I can use all this and then not bring that up, and it's just fine. Why is
Talking
it
about
that
1 Samuel
women's
15, 1-3?
I think so. But when can you name a single verse where women's consent is ever considered king? Ever once?
Well, there was the law of marriage, right? Holy matrimony. They wanted just one man, one woman to have a family. That was
That's not
tradition.
true at
That's
all.
a tradition.
No,
Kings had
adultery
concubines, but-
does not mean that women. Adultery means that women can't do this action. It was perfectly okay and acceptable for men to take up many wives in the Old Testament.
Yeah, but no, there's no law that says that. It's just one man. It says one shall they shall leave their parents, and then the two flesh.
You're talking
one.
about Genesis. Yeah,
Yeah, but
Genesis
that's
has
the
nothing to do.
baseline.
No, it's not.
It is the
Genesis.
baseline.
Yeah, they're talking. They're not talking to humankind. They're talking to Adam and Eve very specifically here in Genesis. When we look further at what's happening, there is no law saying that women are allowed to divorce. There's no law saying that women are allowed to have multiple partners. In fact, there are laws that say that when a man takes up another wife, that he has to treat them equally, right? Like these are, this is God.
Wait, what? Say it again.
So hold on. I just want to point out here, Deuteronomy 21:15-20 has, if a man has two wives.
That's the one. Yes, thank you.
What was that about? One man, one wife? I feel like that's just not true.
You're cherry
not to
picking one
mention the
verse
fact that
out of the whole
Solomon had
Bible.
700 concubines.
I understand concubines is concubines, and I get that it's wrong, but that's what they had.
No, it was never wrong.
Yes, it was wrong. It was a standard was always one man, one woman. It was taught that from Adam
Name
to
a
Eve.
time where women had multiple husbands and they were
We never
righteous
had that.
in the eyes of the Lord.
We never had that.
Name
No,
one
so
time.
does not teach.
King of
The Bible
Knives.
does not
Do
teach
you,
monogamy.
Well, yeah. So, King of Knives, do you recall the guy Jacob that God renamed to Israel? He built the entire Israelite nation off of him. Do you know how many wives and concubines he had?
How many?
4. He had kids with all of them. That's where you get the 12 tribes of Israel from. So no, it's never been one man, one woman as far as like that goes. It's always been a plurality of women with one man. Women can't have multiple guys, but a guy can have multiple women.
Sure, and they had that, but there was also some people who only had one wife too. So
oh my God, we know that what the fuck?
But we're up street drink without. They had it. What's your point? They had it back in the day. But it's not a commandment, though.
Goodbye, King of Knives. It's late. Toe Muncher, we're not going to be able to get to you. Thank you so much, Volcy, for coming in and having good conversations tonight.
Of course.
We did. I believe Cody came back. I don't know. Are you interested in giving Cody another go?
Oh yeah, we'll talk to Cody for about like the next 15 minutes because I do got to go ahead and get off, get something to eat. But yeah, Cody, here's Cody. Cody, we want to try to wrap up here real quick. I know that we told you that you could come back if you wanted to, so here's your chance.
Okay, thank you so much. I actually appreciate you keeping your word. I didn't expect that. Not that I thought negatively of you. It's just that I didn't sound like something that was, But okay, yeah, I have my thing like fleshed out, written down. So if you want, we can start right where we left off, or it's up to you guys.
Yeah, we really only have time to sort of address it sort of superficially. So this would be something good for us to preface for like a future conversation. I definitely suggest following Volcy here if you want to directly interact with him. And then, on his channels, which I've got linked down below. I don't know where you came from, either my channel or his channels, but definitely follow him there. But yeah, go ahead and read off what you got and we'll kind of superficially interact with it for a minute.
Okay, so I kind of have two different definitions of good and bad. The main one is kind of in line with what he said to some extent, that purpose has to be established to determine morality, right? Like almost like a goal, but a little bit different. And I believe that the thing that has the right to establish purpose is the thing that obviously created the thing. And whatever aligns with that purpose is good, whatever doesn't is bad. So for instance, if I invent an iPhone, right, then I have the right to establish its purpose because I was the one that made it. And then if something goes against the purpose of the iPhone, right, its intricate purposes like purpose to call, to text, whatever, if it's used for other than that, then I say that that's bad. Second definition, short.
Sorry. Just to interact at least a little bit superficially, I feel like this sort of brushes up against vestigial limbs. Because the thing with vestigial limbs, if God is the creator of everything and creator of all animals and all life, then the vestigial limbs seem to make no sense under this particular definition, because vestigial limbs are not necessarily unused. They're just used for a different purpose. So like a good example of this would be like in whales. Whales do have a pelvic bone that have rudimentary like bones for legs and everything, because those are remnants from the evolution of a land quadruped to the marine mammal that it is, right? But they've repurposed that pelvis to do a different thing, like navigate a 15-foot whale penis in the midst of the ocean. And so like they've been able to utilize it for a different purpose than what it was originally intended for. And this is the same thing for all vestigial limbs that exist in nature. I feel like if your definition were to hold in a in a way that holds throughout, then you would have no explanation for vestigial limbs.
Okay, so for vestigial limbs, I don't agree with the origin of them. Like, I understand the logic that you're saying, and it makes sense. It follows. But for instance, whenever you said that they originated from like with a specific purpose and then changed to a different purpose through evolution, right? I disagree with that process. I believe that it had its like purpose for one, and two, I don't believe that the what is it called? The whale itself has the right to establish its purpose.
May I drive this to absurdity? Oh, sorry. I apologize.
No, all good. Cody, it's not about the whale deciding its purpose. It's about the fact that what happened with it in evolution is that this is what happened to their environment. So the limb had to be used for something else. That's literally all what happened. It's not that it's just said, oh, well, now that this limb, I'm going to go decide to swim in the water and now I'm going to use this limb for something else. That's not what happened.
I don't believe in macroevolution. That's what I'm getting at. I believe in microevolution, but you would have to prove macroevolution and the fact that things did actually have one purpose and change through.
Macroevolution is simply micro on a longer scale. That's all it is.
Yeah, I don't accept macroevolution. So regardless of.
Then you don't accept evolution.
No, I accept microevolution, meaning I accept like that we
What's the difference?
have the ability.
What's the difference?
I was about to say, meaning that we have the ability to adapt to certain stressors in our environment and stuff, right? But I don't believe that adaptation can go so far as to result in us changing species altogether.
Okay, so you
define a
realize,
species. Sorry.
no, I'm all good. I was going to say that you realize that when it comes to what you call microevolution, right? That those adaptations and those random mutations and genetic drift and natural selection, all those things pile on each other to the point where species starts to drift apart. You understand that, right?
Yeah, that's a claim. You'd have to prove that.
Yeah, we've seen it
You're
happen.
asserting all that, but you have to make an argument for it.
I'm not. What do you mean I have to make an argument for it? This is literally evolution. This is basic evolution.
Yes, I agree that it's evolution, but if you're stating or implying that evolution is true, I'm going to require an argument for that, like for you to show that it is true and not just a theory. Theorizing how something could be.
Hold on, Cody. Listen. You don't argue evolution. You provide evidence. Like evolution, not a philosophy.
No, okay. So I said provide an argument for it, meaning provide evidence with a claim and an explanation.
Yeah,
that's what I mean by
follow genetics, the fossil record. Like, what do you want me to say?
I'm saying provide the evidence and the argumentation that supports evolution being true and not just being a theory.
Yeah, the fossil record.
The fossil record is a thing. How does the fossil record prove evolution?
The fossil record proves evolution because the lower you go down into the earth, the simpler organisms become.
Okay, that's not what evolution is. Evolution isn't that the deeper down into earth you go. I'm saying link it to evolution.
I know that's not what evolution is, but it's one of the clearer evidences of it. Because if evolution wasn't true, you wouldn't see that.
Okay, so you can say evolution. Cody, entails.
Cody, listen. When it comes to scientific theories, they actually predict things. And what evolution predicted is that if we go into the fossil record, we would see animals organisms become more and more simple as we go down into the fossil record. And that's exactly what happened. So they predicted something that was actually true. And not only that, Darwin actually, his theory was actually vindicated while he was alive, because he even predicted that if his theory was true, you would find a dinosaur creature that's bird-like. That's exactly what we found, archaeopteryx.
I think I get what you're saying, but I think you kind of messed up the quote a little bit there. Like in Origins of Species, the thing that he says that would disprove if this is what you're talking about, maybe we're talking about something I haven't heard of, but from what I've seen in the Origin of Species, he makes a claim that, the argument against him basically is that, or the fault in his argumentation or whatever, is that we should find, right, in the fossil record, what is it called? Intermediary species, like an astronomical amount of intermediary species, right?
And that's so what we found.
I'm addressing it. But you just said that it was proved in his lifetime with the Archaeopteryx or whatever, the bird creature. It was not in his lifetime, and it was also not his claim. But
no. Why does it have to be found in his lifetime?
It's a snapshot. It doesn't show a process or a process. It shows like the end result. So at the very least, you can just look at different species that are close to each other, and now you're asserting that they came from the same thing.
Right, but if we look at their morphology and we look at their genetics, we can. Hold on, go ahead. AMGE, what you saying?
I think we are on a side topic right now.
Hold on.
We got to evolution from morality.
Well, right, but so listen, we were on there, but that's because you defined something that would totally negate like vestigial limbs existing, and we know vestigial limbs exist, and I get that you deny reality in that kind of way, but I forgot what you said that was wrong at this point.
It was that I didn't with your analogy where you're saying, hey, your definition of it doesn't make sense, it's contradictory, because in examples like a whale with a vestigial organ of like the pelvis bone, right, that and then you asserted that from evolution, its purpose changed from being one thing, which is walking, to being being able to reproduce properly and all that stuff. Even if I grant that, the point is, it still has a purpose. So anything, even if that purpose changes, I never said the purpose can't change. I'm just still manning the argument, not that I agree with it. But even if the purpose changes, it still has a purpose. So if anything, what's good at one purpose can change when
right. But you said that if you know, basically, I feel like your morality argument was, well, God made us so He can dictate. He has the ability to dictate what our purpose is, and if we do anything that's not part of our purpose, then that's bad. Was that your argument?
Close. So very, very, very close. Close is maybe the wrong word to say, but it's more so when you make something, you have a purpose in mind when you create it, right? And so if there is a creator, then there's objective morality, or at least in my view, there's objective morality because we have a purpose. We have an innate purpose from being with a will.
So I totally.
Anything that goes against that purpose.
So Cody, right? So I totally disagree with this because there's several different examples that we could bring up where something was created by somebody for a specific purpose, but then it found, that it actually did something beneficial or better, and it was more productive in that kind of way. So like the one thing that I'm thinking of is I don't know if you remember Xbox having that little camera thing that the Xbox One initially had it. Well, so that was initially used for like gaming, and it was like a cool gaming thing that detected motion and everything like that. But then they actually found that it was very useful for like doctors, that they would scrub up and go into surgeries and whatnot, but they could use that. I forget what that camera thing's called, but they could use that motion. The Kinect, yeah, they could use the Kinect in order to not have to re-scrub up or get in, contaminate their gloves or whatnot, and they could just use their hands to like manipulate slides and manipulate medical data before going into the surgery. So that really helped out in that kind of way. And there's several other different technological things where they were developed in one kind of way and then found use in another way.
Well, okay, you're doing the same thing in that you're restating the purpose. Hold on.
Volcy wanted to add something.
This is my issue, right? Because you're comparing human beings to like inanimate objects. Yeah, I mean, yeah, sure. If I create an iPhone, I can say the purpose of the iPhone is to make calls and to do media stuff like watch videos and go on the internet. I can say that, but an iPhone is not sentient. It's not conscious. It doesn't have its own will. Like I'm an agent that's conscious and I have my own will, I have my own experience. So saying that, me going against God's purpose or whatever, you would have to, number one, show that a God exists first. And number two, show why I need to follow the purpose of that thing and why I can't make my own decisions.
Okay. So you kind of implied a bunch of things that I never said. Like I didn't say that you can't make your own decisions. I believe that we are able to. And for the argument of why is your God horrible, it kind of implies that there's a God that I believe in that's horrible. So I don't think that's relevant to prove my existence of God to you in this context. If you're saying that my God is horrible, right, and you don't believe in God, so it's like an internal critique. It's not something that I have to prove to someone on the outside.
It's an internal critique. I think Voldemort is horrible, but Voldemort doesn't exist either. We can still criticize things that we don't think are real.
Okay, I know. I agree with you. I'm saying it's an internal critique. So I don't have an onus to prove my view in this argument. If you were saying there is no God, then yes, I would have an onus to prove that there is a God. But the claim, or the question that implies the claim is, why is your God so horrible? He says your God, and I know you're an atheist.
Right. Cody, okay, sorry, Volcy. We do need to wrap. I'm going to let Volcy ask his question right after me. But as far as like the why is your God so horrible, what we've done is from an outside perspective, we've looked at the claims of the Abrahamic God, and we found the claims to violate basic morality, and so that's what makes the God, the character of
worship. right?
Okay.
So for instance, I think you get it. Basically, when we obey, that's a form of worshiping too. It's not just veneration.
Obey what?
Obey what the thing that created us with this purpose told us to do. And we are given the option, the ability to disobey, because this life is a test. So it's to see if we'll actually go through with it or not.
Let me. So Cody, you're right. Yeah, he's a narcissist. So Cody, if Muhammad said no, I won't marry Aisha. She's fucking 6 years old, and then also no, I won't consummate the marriage at 9. Would that have been a good thing or a bad thing under your paradigm?
Yeah, if Aisha said it, then it would not have happened, because if she said like, "Hey, I don't want to do this," in Islam, you can't like rape somebody. You can't forcibly like have intercourse with them if they don't want to.
All child.
So if she said that, yes,
it's always grape with a 9-year-old child.
Okay, in your question, the direct answer is yes. It would be bad if he had intercourse with her and she's saying she didn't want to.
No. That's not what I asked. If Muhammad said no, I won't grape a 9-year-old child, would that be bad under your paradigm?
No, if he said I won't do it, no, that wouldn't be bad. What?
Right. So but that would be disobeying God, would it?
Did you say if he said he would not grape a 9-year-old, then would that be good or bad?
If God told Muhammad to grape a 9-year-old child and he disobeyed God, would that be bad?
I think this is like a non-question, because you're talking about an impossibility.
It's not an impossibility.
It is, because out of his nature. Okay, then we disagree.
Did God tell Muhammad to marry Aisha then, or Muhammad did that on his own?
To marry, but not to grape. He didn't tell him to grape her.
All right, so it's
Can you marry children?
Okay, if we're talking about the contract, then yes. If we're talking about like the actual consummation and stuff, then no.
Okay.
Meaning, you can plan for two people. You can plan for two people to get married in the future.
Cody, listen. What we're saying is that when it comes to children, when it comes to 9-year-olds, consummating a marriage with them is always great. It's always great. So when
I agree.
Okay, got you. So Muhammad then raped Aisha then?
No, because you just said with a child. Use the definition of child.
Yeah, and a 9-year-old is a child.
Okay.
So that's where
Aisha. Okay. So
did God command Muhammad to marry and consummate with Aisha?
Okay, you're kind of jumping from one thing to another without giving me a chance to respond. No, you just made the first claim. Whenever I tried to respond, you switched it into a question, so that way you would skip over it and I wouldn't have the chance to respond.
We already agreed. So we already agreed. So but what I'm saying, so the question is that
we didn't agree.
I actually don't know. You won't agree that a 9-year-old is a child?
Well, that's what I'm trying to figure out.
What are you trying to figure out?
Why are you trying to figure this shit out? This is not something you figure out.
I can tell you how. Because look,
don't tell me how.
Every single society has a different definition. The other woman who said that she basically said that a 20-year-old is a child. That doesn't make sense. I don't agree with that.
Nope. A 9-year-old is a child. We're not arguing back and forth about that.
Okay, so what's your definition of a child? So that way I can either see your logic and agree with it, or a 9-year-old is my
definition. A 9-year-old is my definition.
What does that mean? A 9-year-old is your definition. Like, what is your criteria? Like, when is somebody a child?
A 9-year-old is a child.
Okay, when is somebody a child? What
when they're 9 years old
changes them from being a child to adulthood?
Saying this.
I'm sorry, I muted him, Cody. Ashland, you're up here. I'm gonna allow you to give your 2 cents, and then we do need to go.
Yeah, let's get out of here.
Yeah, so when we look at children and we're talking about something like we're not talking about like the Quran says. We're not talking about sexual development, because if we obeyed by that, we would be talking about post-pubescence, right? Because that is what the Quran says. We're talking about risk assessment. We're talking about ability of discernment. We're talking about brain development. If you cannot understand that, you are a pedophile. I'm so sorry. You are. Because if you are questioning whether you can look at someone and not determine whether they are a child and not have any sort of discernment, I fear for you, because this is disgusting on so many fucking levels. That I view, I am a 32-year-old woman. I don't look at a 20-year-old and go, is that an adult? I go, no, I understand that we are in different life and developmental stages, and that it is inappropriate for me to engage. I'm sorry, I'm fucking fuming, in a relationship that is in a way sex adjacent even, that is grooming. And if you honestly do not understand that, and you follow this book, then I am already under the intuition that I should not follow this book. I'm done. I'm fucking done. I'm sorry.
No, thank you, Ashlyn.
Good, Ashlyn.
Yep. Sorry, I dropped Cody. Cody, I hope that you'll come back and have more arguments. Maybe.
You hope he comes back?
No, actually, I don't. I really don't. I'm just trying to be cordial there.
Thank you, Casey.
Yeah. Oh shit. Sorry,
I'll drop him.
No, yeah, there we go.
We got to get out of here anyway.
I blocked him. Yeah, we do. So sorry for keeping you so long there, Volcy. Thank you so much, Ashlyn, for coming up. Yeah. So everybody, I hope that you'll follow Volcy. I don't know if you get any super chats to address. I do have a couple just to get right out here. So we've got $10 from Where is Waldo, who says, if you would like to actually hear anyone other than a creationist explain what evolution is so you can actually understand it, watch Guts at Gibbons series teaching you the concept of Will Duffy. I agree. That would be awesome. That's an awesome series right there. Dan O'Connell said, thanks for the stream. Have a great night. Thank you there, Dan. I know you left a while ago, so thank you so much for doing that. Collapsitalism says, I was calling nothing slime. We had 2 slime people come up today. I didn't know someone was named Slime. Ha! Yeah, totally. Thank you so much there, Collapsism. Volcy, do you got anything to say? I don't know if you got any super chats to read or anything like that before we head out.
No, I'm good. Everybody cleared out, but for GE Godless and KC, I really appreciate y'all. I've been trying to, sounds a little vain, but kind of get my name up there. You know what I mean? So you've been someone that I've been following for a while, and I'm definitely proud to be here, and I definitely appreciate you allowing me this opportunity to be on your platform and to, spread myself. Pause for me to go ahead and be out here and be on your stage. Definitely appreciate it. Can't wait for the Rocket City Reason. I know I can meet a ton of great people. Forrest is someone that I've been wanting to meet for a while, so definitely excited to meet him. And I just really appreciate it. I appreciate. Hey, thank you so much, Ashlyn. On Dalton's channel, DM me, please, Ashlyn. Let me know what that channel is, and I'll definitely follow. I'm probably already following it and don't even realize. But
Dalton's the Bible guy.
The Bible guy, yeah, I'm already following it. I definitely want to be on there as well. So Bible guy, I'm definitely going to we'll go ahead and link up and talk about that. But yeah, just massive amounts of appreciation. If anyone wants to like to follow me, please follow. I would love for it to. Oh, my links. They always put an I. The third letter is an L, not an I. it's so funny. That third letter is an L, not an I, y'all.
Yeah.
We got a new person.
Huh?
Did we get a new person?
Oh, no. So sorry, Tyler. We're ending out right now, so I got to drop you, but I hope that you'll request up again next time. I'm so sorry about that, okay? I got to keep this open right now. So sorry about that, Tyler. But yeah, so Volcy's links are in the description. I have Volcy's YouTube on over there, and then on YouTube, sorry, Volcy's YouTube channel is linked in the description here. We've got Volcy's account right there in the bottom thing. So if you want to go and follow Volcy, just click on his icon right there, and you can follow him over there on TikTok. But yeah. So Volcy, thank you so much. I'm so sorry I kept you so late. It's been awesome. Yeah. And I'm going to go ahead and end it. Let's see. I don't know who's live right now. I totally forgot to do the whole sending people over to lives, but wherever you go tonight, Leaving Faith is on. Yeah. Robot Go. Be Easy. Be Easy is a great one to watch. Jay Gilmore's live. Amadeus is live. There's a lot of great people. Wherever you go, just tell them that John Cohen, I believe is his name, is live. He's been John Cohen. He's been a major hitter here lately too. So definitely go wherever you go to tonight. Let them know that G's raiding them, and let them know Volcy's raiding. Do a Volcy raid. I'd rather you do a Volcy raid than a GE raid. But in any case, we're gonna go on ahead, get on out of here, and we'll see you heathens later. Don't forget to stand up, use your voice, and visit RocketCityReason.com. Get your tickets for Rocket City Reason later on this year.
Definitely. Peace out, guys. I appreciate y'all. Thank you so much.
All right, we're done there.